Shout out to Gabe.
Oh, yes. Yes. You know what it is. The Kings ride again. We back. What a Monday. Like we were planning on doing this on Tuesday, and the news of the whole RFK back to DC thing hit last night. And I ain't gonna lie, man. Watching the press conference got me excited. Rio was like, bro, we gotta do this tonight. We gotta do this
bro.
tonight.
I was like, they asking for it now, man. We gotta go live tonight. So don't ever say I ain't do nothing for y'all.
And somebody in the comment section was already like, yo, I asked Rio, could y'all do it tonight? And he did it, man. Yeah, the praying hands emoji. So hey, shout out to Rio. Shout out to Gabe Taylor for getting into the rookie minis and getting the tryout, man. So all the Gabe Taylor stands out there, you got your wish. Now let's see what your man does with it. Because he's going to be at apparently more than one of these, trying to see if he can make his way onto a roster. So let's start with the whole discussion surrounding the stadium and the presser that was done today. Your initial reactions to all that was said, all that was done. We saw a rendering today for the first time, so we got that to kind of chew on as well. They seem hell-bent on 2030 being the absolute launch for this new stadium. We've seen the timeline as well, just in case you haven't seen the timeline. I'm gonna put it up on the screen so you know what's going on. So summer 25, they got to get the council to approve. This is not going to be like a walk in the park, but we'll talk about that here in a second. Summer, fall of 2025, the planning commences for the parks, housing, and recreational part of this layout. Fall winter 2026, they're gonna actually, and this is when it really gets real, right? When we see them out there with their hard hats on in the dirt, somebody grabbing a shovel and sticking it in the ground, like, oh my God, they're actually starting to break ground on building up this brand new stadium, or as Josh Harris said, the best stadium in the country. We'll see if that happens and comes to fruition.
It's amazing.
Early 2029. Look, who would have thought 2 years ago, right?
Oh my God.
Not us.
Never. We couldn't even find a state to put it in.
Man, nobody wanted us. We was like an orphan.
That press conference was amazing today, bro. They had the commissioner of the league sitting up there like a mob boss, just cooling. Mayor Bowser was ready to shut down any naysayers and any question that she was not trying to hear. Bro, this presser was like that, man.
Early 2029, Plaza District groundbreaking. So they're going to build up, obviously, the areas around the stadium. Like Rico had said, sort of like the Battery in Cobb County in Atlanta for the Braves. You want to build it up.
They said, I seen something that said over like up to 92 different social bar, food, eatery places, walkable distance from the stadium.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome, man, if they can pull that off.
Man.
Now, what does that say for tailgating and all of that? I don't know, right? Does it sound like you're going to have as much space as you once had? But I'll take that trade-off. I will take that trade-off if they can turn that into a spot where you can just go down and kick it at, right? Summer 2030, Sportsplex ribbon cutting. So she talked about having a Sportsplex for young athletes and for people to be able to train, indoor facility. I think that's going to be so cool. If you got a young kid, you know what I mean, that's a track athlete or a gymnast or something of that sort, where they had to go elsewhere to train when it got cold outside. Now they don't have to because of this new state-of-the-art Sportsplex that they're supposed to be putting in that DC downtown area. And then finally, the big daddy of them all, fall of 2030. The stadium opens, RFK 2.0. We back like cook crack. So let's get your initial thoughts. Rio, I'll start with you. You already kind of open the seal, if you will, pop the top on the press conference and your initial thoughts. Talk to us about how you felt watching that and what you took away from it.
First off, it was cool. As soon as I heard that information yesterday, I was like, oh, I'm going to go live and I'm going to stream this whole press conference. So first thing in the morning, we wake up, the Commanders YouTube page, the Commanders Instagram and Twitter, there's a damn hype video narrated by Joe Theismann,
right,
where the whole message was bring us back to DC's, explaining everything what that this stadium's going to be, going back to the place where all the glory began. Sitting through the press conference, it was nothing but excitement. Joe Gibbs is in the building. Josh Harris is sitting by Muriel Bowser and the commissioner of the NFL. We're going to build the best stadium in the country and in the world. They asked Roger Goodell, does this increase the likelihood at all that Washington can host the Super Bowl one day? He said dramatically, and then doubled down on it later. And then they're going through all of the details of it. Some of the political stuff, like, I don't want to go too deep into that. Today is about fun. We're not here to sit here and talk about, but the council still has to approve it, and they're still no. That is not the time for that. This stadium's going to eventually get done. We don't have to talk about all those political gymnastics right now. They gave us a picture, Lou. They gave us a picture. They don't have the architect locked in yet. So we're not getting exterior or final renderings yet, but we got a rough draft of what they visualize as the new stadium. And it's a damn skyline cityscape over top of the end zone where you can see the monument.
Bro,
in the Capitol.
That is so dope. And somebody pointed out to me, it's in the shape of a W, bro.
Yeah, put that shit on the screen.
Let me throw that up real quick.
They got the seat shaped like a W. There's no lower, there's no upper level where you can sit with God behind the end zone. Like, they got that on the side. Look at this, bro. Like, this ain't even the final copy. This looks so good. The glass translucent roof. Jason Wright told y'all years ago this was going to end up being it. It's not finalized. It's going to be a translucent roof. It's not going to be a retractable roof. It costs significantly more to do that, and they're coming out of pocket pretty soon.
Already as is.
But what are y'all thoughts on this picture, even though it ain't the end-all, be-all just yet?
Man, it looks refreshing. First of all, I love the big screen.
It looks refreshing. like we take part in a beverage right here, man.
That's how you know our stadium as. I remember I said earlier that looks like the Wu-Tang W where the seats are shaped in the end zone.
Yeah.
I mean, just going from, my point is, like, going from Landover and what that is right now to potentially this looks like a stadium of the future. You know how the Raiders have their own little Death Star looking stadium in the future, the Mercedes-Benz. I mean, it looks like crumbled up aluminum foil from the outside, but it looks amazing on the inside. And then, I mean, this was just, I mean, I can't think of another stadium that just looks this pretty, especially at the NFL level. You know, a lot of college stadiums may get a little creative with their stadium designs, but none of them are on the scale of this. And it just looks beautiful. It looks like a fun time. Even outside of football, it just looks comfortable.
Rico said it looks refreshing.
I mean, finally, something respectable.
Yes. Ed, tell us what you thought about the presser and what you thought about the rendering that we got.
Oh no, it was awesome, man. Especially when Josh Harris was like, "Man, this couldn't happen without Dan Quinn, Adam Peters, and Jaden Daniels." And then, of course, Jaden, and then Roger Goodell was like,
Jaden's a pretty big deal, right? Yeah.
So no,
we're about to get 7 primetime games, y'all. Buckle up.
Yeah, so the Super Bowl is coming. Mayor Bowser, she did a heck of a job. Yeah, she definitely was swatting down all the questions about, you know, taxpayers and different things like that. But no, it was great. And even the attendance, like seeing John Riggins there, seeing Joe Gibbs there, of course Doug Williams was there, Darryl Green. A lot of the legitimate legends were there, not just you know, some legends that we do call legends nowadays. But no, it was great attendance. Josh Harris did a great job, man, and it's really real, man. With Goodell being there too, it shows that it's really, 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 really real, and it's about time. They showed that timeline. The renderings were great. There's like another one. I don't know if that one's real or not. Where it
That's
is
fake.
Yeah, I'll say don't
it's
get
AI.
sucked in. Yeah.
It's a Twitter user's AI generated, Joe, but it do look fly though.
It
Yeah,
do.
it does
I
look
will
fly.
admit.
So yeah, I don't know if they are still going to try to do the whole moat thing
Yeah.
and
No, that's
whatnot,
probably
like
dead. That's
just
dead.
from 10 years ago, but we'll
Yeah.
see. And then so I mean, just the parking. So it's FedEx or Northwest Stadium has 22,000 spots. Now it's going to go down to 8,000. But of course, we do have the Metro. Some people are talking about boat tailgating, so we'll see how that goes and whatnot. So that's the concern about the tailgating and whatnot. But no, this is it's state of the art. I mean, who would have thought this like for us? And now we're able to do it because we have new ownership and we're winners now. We're a winning team. We are a marketable team. We have Jaden Daniels on the cover of the schedule release. We're in commercials now, Marriott commercials, Madden commercials with Dan Quinn on the phone or whatnot. We're a marketable team. So it's about time that we have a state-of-the-art stadium in 2030 when it's coming. So, and the whole stores on the Anacostia River, they want to do that, a bunch of hotels. The complex that you talked about, the sports complex, just the different ideas and the stuff that's going to come to the city is going to be awesome. So, but yeah, so I mean, like I said, the parking going to 8K, so we'll see what happens with that. You're just gonna have to take the Metro and whatnot. But I mean, the ticket prices too. What is it called? SPLs or PSLs or something like that.
PSL. Yeah.
PSL.
PSL. So I
PSLs.
mean, they asked them about that. So obviously the ticket price was gonna go up anyway because we're winning now. So like at Northwest is gonna go up as well this year coming up. But of course, in 2030, it's going to be a crazy, crazy, crazy amount. I saw Rio say he was sitting in the nosebleed seats. The nosebleeds. So
I'll get the season ticket package for standing room only for 1 year just to say I was in there for a year, man.
Standing room is
a
a standing spot.
Hey, that's some nasty work, right?
Because I'm gonna finesse my way to a decent seat by the end of the game. Somebody gonna get me there. I'm leaving with something.
He said, I just need to get in the building, man. Let me get my foot in the door. I'll figure the rest out when I get in
touching glass.
So you gonna be so high up, you gonna be able to write your name on the glass.
He said, touching glass.
You gonna see a Rio signature on the glass.
Oh man, hey, that's wild, man. That is crazy work right there. He said you be touching glass.
I'm just hoping that they take a pointer from the Falcon Stadium. As much as I hate them, the fact that the food is that cheap, you can go there and feed a family of 5 for like $30. No exaggeration. I'm gonna need that.
Oh, we don't gotta finance glizzies, bro, on Sunday, bro.
Can I take a loan out for this hot dog?
Hey, pre-ordering food on Sunday.
Hey, you on the season ticket plan for a glizzy.
You gotta pay for a hot dog in 4 installments.
Right.
Oh man. Look. The fact that we're sitting up here talking about this when just 2 years ago we could have never imagined, and I said this earlier today, that it's amazing how fast it seems like everything's happening so fast. Is it just me? Nope. Or like I'm not just talking about with the stadium, I'm just talking about everything, like the turnaround, finding a franchise quarterback. There's things we haven't done in over 3 decades, and we've done all of this stuff. We've been trying to get a new stadium for 2 decades, right? We've been trying to get back to the NFC Championship game for 3 decades, over 3 decades. We've been trying to win a playoff game for the last 2 decades. We've never won 2 road playoff games in the same postseason in franchise history, right? All of these things, we've been looking for a franchise quarterback probably since Joe Theismann, bro. Like, if we're being honest with one another, like all these things we've been searching for years upon years upon years. And in a year and a half's time, we've done all of them. And it's just like everything is happening in succession. It's almost like, is this real? Like, last season was amazing. It was crazy. It was one of the best rides we've been on collectively as a fan base, if you didn't live through the glory years, right? You get to the offseason, they trade for Laramie Tunsil, they trade for Deebo Samuel, and they're like, yo, this is crazy, right? We're a destination. Then you look up, and they're telling us 2 weeks ago, just 2 weeks ago, they were like, yeah, man, we think we're going back to RFK. This DC thing is real, man. And you're like, oh, man, that's what's up. 2 weeks later, they're like sitting down with the commissioner and the mayor, and they're telling us that
the world.
it's it's going down. And yes, there still has to be a vote. But as I said earlier, and I think y'all feel the same way that I do on the whole vote, because it's not gonna just be this, but at the end of the day, they didn't sit out in front of everybody and tell the world that we're going back to RFK if they didn't think this shit was getting done. Okay. This football is literally inside the 5 right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way they gonna let this thing not get punched into the end zone.
They came with a full ass plan. They had a whole pamphlet in
She had
slideshow.
a packet. She had a packet. That's page 3. I showed you that rendering. That's page 3. Okay.
Did you see the page with Jaden and Taylor Swift on it and all the different events they want to host at the stadium?
Bro.
This is craziness, man.
Pure craziness.
To Lou's point, I mean, first of all, Josh Harris has done more in 24 months than Dan Snyder did in 24 years. But I mean, to your point, like everything is happening so quickly that we don't really get to process and enjoy everything we just finished a draft class.
Yep.
And now we're so hype about the stadium, you almost forget that we just had a draft. We were just drafting 2 days ago.
Right.
We still we're still signing undrafted free agents, bringing in rookie mini camp invites and things like that. Still getting those notifications out of nowhere. This huge breaking news happens, and I don't know which to be happier about.
Yeah.
Hey Lou, we was live at this. We were talking in the stadium earlier. Well, one of the first comments was like, "That trash ass pizza Lou be eating better not be in the stadium."
Now that'd be crazy.
If you like, Lou better not have no eating options at our new stadium.
He said none. Look at how y'all trying to box me out, man. Y'all ain't shit for that.
Lou, you got 5 years. You got 5 years to get a partnership to get the Lou Mill at the new stadium. You got 5 years to get that done.
Like
man.
the Angel Reese combo at McDonald's.
You got to get that Lou Mill at the stadium. I won't be buying it, but I think that would be hard.
Lou coming to the stadium with a brown paper bag lunch like.
Hey, bro, they were crushing me in the stream earlier. I was like, I love this discourse about my pizza because I've started a conversation about cheeseless pineapple and mushroom pizza, man. It's a real discourse.
You're a wild boy, man.
It's a real discourse about cheeseless pizza, man. But as long as there's a Your Pie or a Blaze Pizza or some sort of pizzeria that can accommodate me, it's all good, man. Hey, if not, like Rico said, or like Rio said, I'll just bring my bag paper lunch. No worries.
Nah, man, we got 5 years. I will help in any way that I can for us to get the Lou meal at the Lou lunch at the stadium. We need that.
Hey, they've been killing me for the not the trash ass pizza though. Hey, Rio done gave it a name now, man. No, Rio said weak ass pizza.
That weak ass pizza.
So I'm scared of that pizza now.
Oh man. But I'm so excited about this whole situation. And to Rico's point, like it's crazy that this happened today, because they could have waited until next week to tell us this.
Yep.
Because we still high off the draft and all of the guys that they're trying to accumulate here with UDFAs and camp and mini camp invites and things of that nature. We still on that, right? And then they hit us with this, and so you're almost like, well, damn, we still got a draft to talk about. And it's amazing that you've got all this going on with this organization, and you feel like we've come so far in such a short amount of time, and we're just getting started.
Yep.
We're just getting started. I mean, it's amazing, man. I was so excited. The press conference was dope. Like you said, Rio, Mayor Bowser was not having any of the negativity. If you was trying to, and she did it in a respectful way. She shut him down, was like, look, I hear your concerns. They're valid. But she's like, look, we got the money. Okay. You want to talk about the 2025 budget? You need to talk to your local constituents. We got the money, right?
Eloquently.
Right, very eloquently. We got the money. You need to talk to them so they can get this figured out. But this is for 2026. This is going into the 2026 budget. And, so many people try to be short-sighted. I want to talk about this deficit and that deficit. What about the money that it's going to bring, the surplus that it's going to generate over the first, I would say the first 5 years of it being in existence? Because we're going to get a I don't know how far out they've already booked the Super Bowl, but I would imagine, like, let's say they're on 2032 right now, like hosting the Super Bowl.
We get the next one.
We getting the one after that, right? Whatever the next open available slot is, once this thing is solidified, we're getting a Super Bowl. We're getting a Super Bowl. Not, I would say anywhere from 2 to 3 years after this stadium is built. And you're going to have major events coming here. And this thing's going to be, it's going to be a cash cow. And if, like Rio said, if all of those different places to eat and shop are around that area, it's going to be booming. It's going to be bustling. And it's going to generate so much revenue for the area that it's insane that somebody would not want this type of opportunity for the area, for the DMV. Like, it's crazy.
After hosting a draft and a Super Bowl, you get like a third of the money back, basically, already.
They would make that money back so fast. So fast.
Hell yeah.
It's going to be amazing, man. I cannot wait to see. Now, like Rio said, there has not been an architect hired. And they have not finalized whether the roof will be retractable or not.
But
it doesn't look like it.
But it's good. They said it's a roof, though. Like, a roof is going on the stadium.
Oh, of course. It's got to. Not if you want to host the Super Bowl, if you want to host the draft, if you want to host, any of the Olympics, anything that, weather can impact, that event, you need to have something to cover it up, right? So you're definitely getting some sort of roof. And whether it's what we just saw, that glass, or it's some sort of retractable situation, we're getting something on the top of this stadium. So it's going to be so much fun over the next, I would say, year or so. The next big milestone, the date, like I told you, is this summer when the vote comes in. Once that vote comes in and they approve and they pass it, now we know for sure that it's a done deal. It feels like it's almost a done deal right now, right? With that kind of press conference. But again, we'll see. We don't want to count our chickens before they hatch, but understanding that we've come this far, I think the biggest obstacle and hurdle that we had to overcome, we did that when we were able to get the land out of the federal control and back into the control of the district. So I think we're pretty much home free at this point. I feel good about it. It's going to be awesome. Now, I caution y'all, and I said this earlier, y'all be careful at the renderings that y'all going to be seeing out there. It's going to be a lot of AI. Generated, yes.
Oh,
stuff.
My gosh.
So if you don't get it from a reputable source, do not share it. Do not run around, thinking that, oh, it looks like this, it looks like that. Make sure it's coming from a JP Finley, a Adam Schefter, a Nikki Javala, a Ben Standing, someone that covers this team, or someone that will have the access to that won't just put out something willy-nilly. If it's some random dude, Willie 2269, do not, I repeat, do not run with it, because you can get got real quick. So, because that's what's going to be the next thing. Is people going to be trying to put a bunch of different renderings out there.
I see analysts running with the AI one, the fake one. Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, there's somebody already done set everybody up.
Yeah, it's just getting started. It's just.
I don't think people understand how easy it is to do it. Like, we could do it right now in like 20 seconds.
Right. It's not hard to do. That's why I said be careful, because there's gonna be a lot of people trying to get people, troll with those type of AI renderings, man. I mean, the AI is so dangerous. When they be like changing people, like using people's voice to say that this person said this or this person said that, that's wild.
AI got to be illegal, bro. That's like the worst shit in the world right now.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hold you.
I hate that shit, bro.
I hate it so much.
Yeah.
I hate it too.
It's crazy, but
there's a sector of the internet that don't know the difference between fake shit and real shit, and they're walking around life thinking everything they see and hear on the internet is real. That's a dangerous time, man.
Yeah. I always say the internet is not a real place
for fake news. Like, it will say it under the tweet.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that's the one good thing about X is
Community notes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if it's fake picture, if they've like doctored it in any way, this is not a real photo. This is a photo of XYZ. Like I saw a photo of this dude that used to play basketball named Xavier McDaniels choking a player, and they tried to make it seem like it was Michael Jordan he was choking. And so the picture was like, this is not a picture of Michael Jordan. This is a picture of XYZ. And so I'm glad that they have stuff like that, because people who don't know would just think that's what it is, right? It's a lot of people who don't.
The NBA Centel gets real.
Oh yeah,
NBA
oh yeah. He be getting people bad.
Elite troll, one of the best in the business. Hang
Best
the
I've ever
jersey in the
seen.
Best bro.
Best I've ever seen, bro.
They get them daily. They get you multiple times daily. You got to read it twice. Is that Central for real or Centel?
Yeah, Centel. You got to make sure you looking at, because even the people that are well respected in the game know about Centel, bro. He's legendary.
Yeah, I be scared when I see Central. I gotta like
gotta
really make sure, like
squinting. I be squinting at it like.
No, it's a good thing the NFL doesn't have one like that.
Yeah, trust me, it's coming.
Well, there you go. Thanks, Ed.
Yeah. Hey, you know what Ed does? Ed literally just spoke it. Somebody's creating that as we speak.
Jinx magnet.
Thanks, Ed.
You're gonna replace the Dove Clivemans and all those aggregate fake ass engagement farming pages on X now, and they're gonna get everybody. Adam Schefter or Adam Schefter.
It's a dude that got it's Adam Schefter, but if you look at his handle, it's not the same handle, but it's the same picture, and he be trying to get people. I'll be like, man, y'all be careful out here in these streets, man. It's dangerous out here. So I'm just warning y'all with these renderings. Be careful, stay safe. But anyway, what a momentous day, man. The traction right now that we have is staggering, right? I mean, I don't know if I've seen this much heat around this team at one time in a long time. And just to think, in 2 weeks, we about to find out we got 6 or 7 primetime games, bro. And so, like, understand where we are. We're Madden commercial, fresh off of a stellar draft. Now you're getting a new stadium back home where you belong at RFK. And now you're going to find out that you're the hottest ticket in the NFL this year. You're going to be on Sunday Night Football in week 1 to, kick off the season. And you're going to be on Thanksgiving, Christmas, Black Friday, all the shit you don't want is coming our way.
International.
So prepare yourself. I'm not speaking that one into existence. I don't want any parts of it. They trying to put us against the Dolphins over in Spain. I don't want
Yeah. Jaden gonna be on every billboard. Viva Jaden Daniel. JD5, JD5.
JD5.
I cannot. Let's transition to the draft. So we were together for day 2 of the draft, which we only had 1 pick, but we walked away feeling good about what the team had done in the first 2 rounds. And then they were able to make their final 3 selections, no trade. So I want to start there. Were you surprised that there were no trades whatsoever for the Commanders the entire draft? Because I don't think any of us expected us to leave the draft with the 5 picks that we went into it with.
And after the second day, that's it. At that point, I realized we're not trading back in this class. I feel like 61 was the best spot that we could get some real value at some point and add some extra pick. After they made the Trey Amos pick, I was like, yeah, I think they're good with 5. And one of them positions that we've been talking about all offseason, they're not going to draft one of them. And at this point, we all need to accept it. So I wasn't really as surprised after we got past the Amos pick. What about y'all?
Yes, sir.
No, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, same. Like it was like really at 29, they didn't do it. And then especially after 61, we didn't do it. Yeah, that was it. You could already tell we weren't moving up. I mean, I already felt like we had really no chance of moving up even before the draft started. But once we got to 61 and we took Trey Amos, you already knew there was no chance we were moving back anymore. We were just going to sit where we are. We've accepted our fate. We came in with 5 picks because of the trades we made, and we're just going to do what we can with what we have.
And no, I'm not surprised. We did the stick and pick mock draft a couple of times. But yeah, like you guys said, I mean, they really wanted Josh Connerly. There were reports that they could have traded back out of the first round, but they just wanted their guy, Josh Connerly. And then Trey Amos, just stay at 61, get the best BPA, get the best player available. And then the 6th and 7th round pick, there just wasn't much value there. I mean, you could have tried to package those picks and possibly move into the 5th round, but other teams probably didn't want that. That probably wasn't enough to move into the 5th round. So yeah, we only have 5 picks. I mean, our draft, you just got to look at Laramie Tunzel and Marshawn Lattimore as draft picks to kind of look at it that way. So we just didn't have enough picks to really make a lot of moves. We could have traded back, but I think Adam did a good job just kind of sticking and picking and just taking BPA.
More shocking, not taking an edge rusher at any point in the draft, or not acquiring a kicker at any point, including UDFA? What's more shocking to you?
Oh, it's the edge. The edge is the topic. It's why some people look at our draft class funny as a whole, because everybody and their mamas, including us, all have edge written as, if not one, number 2 biggest need. But everybody usually has it as our top need on this team, which tells me one of 2 things. They either think lowly of the edge class, or they think highly of the guys we have in the building, like the Dietrich Wise, Jacob Martin, Javonte Jean-Baptiste, and company. Or third option, they could have a corresponding move ready to be made at some point this offseason with guys like Zadarius Smith, or some type of veteran option being added later in the offseason. But it's clearly the most startling thing about our draft class that we did not take one edge. They didn't force pick an edge late, and I don't see them knocking down doors to sign any of the undrafted edges. So there's got to be something there, man. Lance Newmark comes to the podium after the draft, though. Listening to him speak, he made an emphasis to talk about how they're still in contact with some veteran free agents at the time. But for me, it's definitely edge, the most startling thing about the draft class.
Yeah, and I feel like my main thing about it is that, they didn't reach on an edge that they felt like, they're not reaching on need. They went best player available. They firmly believe Josh Connerly was the best player available at 29. And I could definitely see the argument for that. They firmly believe Trey Amos was the best player available at 61. And I really appreciate the fact, whether we agree or disagree, that Jalen Lane was the best player available round 4, or Kane Madrano round 6. I definitely think Ja'Cory Krosky was the best player available. And so I feel like that's pretty definitive. But I mean, at the very least, this is the same team that went from 4 wins to 14 in one offseason. If they believe they got the best players available at those times, then I believe it. Because, I mean, edge rusher was clearly the biggest need coming into this draft. And you could just tell by the fact that the picks that they made, that they weren't reaching on need. They literally went with the best player on the top of their board. Again, you can agree or disagree if that player should have been the player at the top of their board at the time of those picks, but you can tell they firmly believe, every team says it, but you can tell by their actions that they firmly believe they got the best players that were there when it was their time to pick.
Yeah, so the Chiefs, they might have taken Connerly. They took Josh Simmons off as a tackle, so it's like we definitely had to take Connerly where we got him. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely edge, and I'm not going to lie, I'm not happy about not taking a kicker. I didn't want us to take a kicker in the draft. I'm happy that we took a running back in the 7th round rather than trying to take a kicker, and we got a speed athletic freak in the linebacker out of UCLA. So the kicker from the Defenders, he did miss a 58-yarder.
Let it go, Ed. Let it go, Ed.
50-yarder.
Your client. Talk about your client, man. You represent your client, Ed.
Right. The Defenders are 4-1, so they have the biggest comeback in UFL history. But we still have the chance of Matt McCrane and the divisional Dwayne Zane Gonzalez. Yes, he needs competition for sure. So they do need to bring in competition, which they will. And maybe before mini camp, OTAs or whatever, they're definitely going to bring in a couple kickers. They're going to bring in 2 to 3 kickers before preseason for sure. So I'm not too worried about that. But Zane, yes, he definitely needs competition. He has been iffy over the last couple games that he played with the divisional doink. But edge rusher, so Jack Sawyer went right before Jalen Lane. I don't know if they were going to take him or not. And then I think the guy out of Central Arkansas, he went right before Jalen Lane too. So there was a couple guys that went, and then Braden Swinson was like the only guy
that was available.
And then Fadil Diggs as well were the only two that we really liked after, the fourth round or in that fourth round range. So if you didn't get one in the fourth round, then it most likely wasn't going to happen. So yeah, it was really just like Jack Sawyer and I'm blanking on David Walker is his name out of Central Arkansas. So
I think the Bucks drafted him.
Yeah, David Walker. Yep. So, but yeah, we're going to get somebody, whether it's the Darius Smith, Von Miller, or whoever, or, if they really feel confident in the guys that they got, I think we'll figure it out. Yeah, Kyle Kennard, he went right before Jalen. He went at 120.
I think he was the other one that they were kind of targeting at that fourth round range. And once he went off the board, I think they just pivoted to now they'll tell us it was the highest rated player on their board.
Highest rated player on our boards.
Right. And he might have been at the time of their selection, but I don't know if he had a higher grade than Kyle Kennard. If Kennard was available, I think that's might have been the direction they would have gone in. So I'm just for the sake of being different, I'm going to say it's kicker because I could see a path in the draft where they didn't select an edge. Like the first round, I thought would be your best value at edge, and everybody that they wanted was there. Clearly, they didn't have them rated as high as Josh Connolly, and I don't have any issues with that. But we talked about it. Ezaraku was there. Nick Scorton was there. I think the only one that wasn't there that we had talked about was Shamar Stewart, right? He was gone. The other two were there, and they passed up on edge there, and you knew once they passed, those guys weren't getting to 61. So you get to 61, there were some options available, but we know the guy, right? We know the guy they wanted at 61. Shout out to the Tennessee Titans. We know which guy they wanted at edge and at 61, and it was Olufemi Oladejo.
We applauded that pick. We applauded that pick.
Yeah, best pick of the draft, Tennessee.
Titans said, "Nah, y'all good. We got you." And so once he was gone, literally, Adam Peters told us after day 2 that there were two guys in particular, Trey Amos and an edge. We know who that edge was.
Mm-hmm.
Once the edge was gone, Amos was there. They weren't moving. They were going to take him. It became very clear that certain guys had to be on the board in order for them to take an edge. They weren't going to take an edge just for the sake of taking an edge.
Yep.
Thank you.
They got to the fourth round, and I think it was Kyle Kennard that they were interested in.
I think so too.
In the fourth round. That was the first guy. I don't know if y'all realize this was the first guy they talked to at the combine. The very first guy they talked to was Kyle Kennard out of South Carolina.
We've seen meetings matter for this crew because they
big.
And he was like an 18-time captain at South Carolina. So he was definitely their type of guy. And once he went, I think he went like 3 picks before our selection.
Him and Dylan Sampson went just a few picks before Washington picked at 128.
Yeah.
He was 125.
Yep. Yeah. I knew it was because I was clocking it hard. Like, okay, if he's there, I think they're going to take him. And I was like, oh, because, I just like options. It doesn't matter to me who they decide. Now, to Rico's point, I've had conversations with people who didn't necessarily love. So let me ask y'all this. Of all the picks, is there one? And first of all, I love all the picks. I love every single one of them because the thing that I felt like they were aiming to do, they did, which was get more athletic and faster as a football team. And so the one pick that people complained about just a smidge, and they weren't really bitching about it. They were just more so saying, hey, I thought there were better receivers on the board, was Jalen Lane, right? 4th round out of Tech. And the name that keeps coming up is Jalen
Royals.
Was available at that pick. And my rebuttal to that is Lane offers you return ability. And if you watch the phone call with Adam Peters, he said to him, you're going to help us on special teams, right?
Yep.
You're going to.
I heard Lance say, "Oh, we got our return guy."
Yeah,
at his presser,
right? And I don't know if you saw L to the Izzo in the when they announced the pick.
He was hyped.
he was hyped. He gave Adam Peters the hardest, fist pump. I'm like, all right, bet that must have been a dude you were banging the table for. So clearly there was an agenda there. Like, hey, not only do we want to get faster here, we need a guy that's going to help us on specials. And I think that was a big impetus for that pick in particular. Any picks stand out, or was it that one in particular?
That pick is very, like, I know I love Jalen Royals, but like, if you put a couple inches of height on Jalen Lane, that's a 10.0 RAS score, and that is one of the best wide receiver workouts we've seen. Like, he jumped 40 inches vertical, 11 foot on the broad, and ran 4.34, and he looks every bit that on tape.
Yeah. Somebody said to me, he doesn't look like he plays fast. I'm like, what are you watching?
He looks like you're speeding up you're at 1.5 speed when you're watching his highlight tape. The reverse game's gonna go crazy with him. The screen game, the jet sweep. Half of his highlight tape is jet sweeps and reverses. So I see a guy that Cliff said, not only can he return stuff, go ahead and bring him in my wide receiver room, because I raised this question. I've asked this to quite a few people so far. Who the hell is the slot receiver right now? The number one slot receiver on the team? Is it Luke McCaffrey going into the season?
I think it's him.
It's Luke, right?
No, I think it's Jalen at this point. Like,
exactly. So if it's Luke, then that means it's up for grabs. It's anybody's job at this point. So if this kid can come in, pull a Terry, and start catching passes early in camp, he could take a job real fast.
Yeah, I love him because he's 3 birds, 1 stone. Not only, like, to your point about the slot receiver thing, he could probably be our slot receiver. And then also on top of the fact that, I mean, I think throughout college, I think he had like 40 something like running back carries technically, like out of the backfield and things like that. So there goes your additional Debo. We're probably gonna have the best wide receiver screen trio in the NFL between Terry, what he did in the Detroit Lions game, Debo Samuel, and now Jalen Lane. Then you've already talked about the fact that he's a returner for us. He's like your starting punt returner immediately. We'll see how much he contributes on starting kick returns. And then he's also potentially a deep threat. I mean, you have one of the best deep threat wide receiver quarterbacks in the entire NFL. And before this draft, before we got Jalen Lane, Terry was your only deep threat, especially with De'Ami Brown gone. And that would just be such a waste of Jaden Daniels' skill set with him being that great at it, and we don't have a bunch of options for him. So I'm happy we at least have 2 now. And then I also just love how much of an athlete this guy is. Just last season alone, didn't he caught a touchdown pass? Of course, he's a receiver. He ran for one. He also threw one and returned one for a punt. Like, this guy is an insane athlete. He doesn't necessarily have like the surface box score stats, but I more so blame the bad offense, like the scheme, and also the quarterback play.
Play was atrocious.
All I need out of Jalen Lane is to quick, fast, and in a hurry get the hell out of the 80s numbers, because anybody thinking he didn't look fast is because he's wearing 83 in 2025 as a speed receiver. That ain't it.
And they're also gonna love him too, because the reason we got rid of Jahan Dotson is that he refused to get physical and block. This guy will block.
Yeah, crazy thing is he wore 25 in a game too. The ODU game where he went crazy, he wore 25 in that game. He switched numbers for a game.
That's that VTech tradition.
Yeah, tradition. Yeah, they got a tradition there. Yeah. You know how some schools have a number that they wear. Like if you're a captain, or they honor, like LSU, the
7
prestigious number for LSU is 18, right? Like if you're like a captain, they give you the number 18. Like if you're do y'all have one of those at Georgia, like a number that is like reserved for? So
I'm unfamiliar with this tradition in general that I've noticed.
It's certain schools, like if you're
Virginia
at
Tech do it, they'll throw 25 on the captain for a night or something like that. Like they did it with Tremaine Edmonds and a bunch of different players too.
Yeah,
it's like a Dan Quinn thing where he has a different captain every game.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Like Penn State, if you are like a linebacker, you want 11. Right, like that's the number you got to get if you a dog and you go to Penn State and I forgot the number at Alabama. I think it was like 32 at linebacker. Right, like they had a little tradition there where if you a big time linebacker, you wear 32. But yeah, he's gonna be really interesting. I love the selection. But
no, I was gonna challenge on Jalen Lane too. But no, you guys said a lot. I was gonna bring up the whole he threw a touchdown pass, he ran one in, ran a punt return, obviously caught a touchdown pass. if he had a decent quarterback, then he definitely would have been a 1,000-yard receiver pretty easily. How quick he led the team in receiving yards with like 400 something yards. So that shows you how the offense was and how the quarterback play was. And
That's
he had
terrible.
two. Yeah, he played with Tootin too. Tootin was getting the football a lot too as a quarterback. But yeah, right.
They couldn't let us get him just because you were saying that. Because that would have been hilarious, bro. If he'd have been on the squad, you was calling for that. They couldn't let us get him because of that, bro.
Nope.
Right. So yeah, I think he would have had tape similar to Jalen Royals if he had better quarterback play. I think Jaden is a guy that's really going to get the best out of him. And you think about the no huddle, like you think about the play where De'Ami caught that touchdown pass against the Browns. Like you can catch them sleeping and catch them off guard. Where Jaden's so smart, where, say he runs for 10 yards, he's telling Cliff, let's hurry this up. I see something, and he sees a mismatch with Jalen Lane. So I can already see something like that happening where he catches a team off guard and he throws like a 60-yard bomb to Jalen Lane. Or even just forcing a pass interference. I can see that happen with Jalen Lane too, just forcing pass interference because he's just so quick and so fast. So definitely adds a different element to the team, the jet sweeps, the reverses, and gadget play, stuff like that. So I think it's a great pickup. Jalen Royals, he'll probably have a good career too if there's gripes about that, but I think we got one. And Larry Izzo probably did the same thing with the paper like Cliff did with Connerly. So I think it's a great pick for sure.
So I'm going to wrap up the kicker conversation, and then we'll continue to go through the day 3 selections. So to play devil's advocate, kind of had a sense after, like you guys said, the second day that there was a chance. And then I told everyone, because I was on a stream live at the time of the Jalen Lane pick. I said, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, guys, I don't think we're getting the edge in this draft. Like, prepare yourself mentally for that.
Yeah.
Because the time has come and passed. Like, there's not a lot. Like, we've done, and I referenced to you guys. I said, all of us have individually done mocks. You guys out there have done your own mock drafts. And then we came together and did multiple mocks. And once you got to that 4th round pick, if the edge wasn't there, you weren't excited about one after that, right? Because we didn't have a 5th round pick. So you skip all the way to the 6th round pick. There's nothing left there by the time you get there. So, y'all hear that?
Yeah, I'm hearing something too. My mic's muted.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Pac-Man.
Yeah, like something like a ruffling or something.
I didn't hear it. What
8-bit.
happened?
Okay.
What happened? I didn't hear nothing.
It was
like an 8-bit noise.
Yeah, for sure.
Something like an 8-bit loading screen.
I ain't get that on my get that on my end, man.
Right. I thought I was tripping. I thank you, Rico, because I thought I was tripping for a second.
I think it's going now.
So, I just I knew we weren't drafting a kicker. That was to be expected. But I was like 1,000% sure we would get one as a UDFA, right? So Fitzgerald was there after the draft. We didn't get him. I don't know how many kickers have signed. I know 2 kickers were drafted. Bergales was drafted, and then the Ravens drafted a kicker.
You know how sick we are as fans, bro. Like, why I actually like it stung to me when I saw Borgales go.
Oh no, you text us. Oh my God, it's gone. I was like, oh,
why do I care?
Like, you made me open up the ESPN app because I wasn't watching the draft at the time. I'm like, oh, what guy's going for Rio? And then I was like, he talking about the damn kicker, man. I forgot. I was like, what the hell is going on, Rio? Hey, but again, we really wanted to upgrade the kicking position with a young guy, and there's still an opportunity to do. There are a lot of kickers that are available that weren't drafted, but I thought they would have taken care of that already, to be honest with you. So I am a little bit shocked that they didn't get some sort of kicker to come in here and compete with Zane Gonzalez. And like Ed said, at some point they'll do it, right? I'm not tripping about it. I just thought they would have taken care of it as soon as the draft was done. So that was a bit of a surprise. So you go to the 6th round, Commanders select linebacker Kane Medrano out of UCLA. What were your initial thoughts? Did you think linebacker would be the pick at all in this draft, and specifically that pick? And then what did you make of the selection once you saw who it was?
I felt like a backer was going to be taken because nobody's talking about us taking a backer. And I just knew that was some Adam Peters shit to do. But I was surprised. Like, I was not familiar with Kane Madrado's name. When they said that name, I was like, I can't put a face to this person. Then I said, oh, okay. I saw him flash a lot watching Oladejo and Carson Swessinger when I heard that we were rumored to both of those guys. A lot of brewing shit brewing in DC, you know. Ken Norton Jr., Adam Peters, and Logan Paulson was high on this guy as well when he spoke of him. But once again, fastest linebacker in the draft. I'm starting to see a trend, man. If you don't have it at least an 8 relative athletic score in the top right quadrant of your RAS where it says speed score, if it's not all green, they are not interested in you, man. I see a guy that has a safety's body but plays the linebacker position. They have him close to the line a lot. I see a guy that has a knack for finding the football. I get why they like him. I think earlier in his career, he needs to find a spot on special teams and make himself a home there and find his way onto the football field somehow defensively. But I totally understand the pick in the 6th round. And at that point, you're not finding flawless prospects, but very athletic. Looks like a guy that's going to probably play a safety linebacker hybrid role, kind of like Josh Harvey Clemens back in the day. Just to
not Josh Harvey Clemens signing. Josh Harvey Clemens signing. I love it. Look at that name drop.
You know, you got to pull out some obscurity every time we talk ball, but man, I like his attitude. I like this moxie. I like that he told Ken Norton Jr. to come get me.
Yeah.
And he plays like a bat out of hell, and he forces turnovers. So I'm with it.
Yeah, I feel like their most realistic goal for him is to groom him at worst to be like a great special teams guy, to basically replace Nick Bellore, because we already have Tyler Owens, Jeremy Reeves, and those guys, but Nick Bellore is 35, and he led our team in I think special teams tackles last year. It's only been so long he can keep this up, and he's here for one more season. Who knows after that? So they're probably hoping they can at least groom him into that. But then defensively, they're looking at the athletic traits. I mean, he shows some flashes in coverage. He even shows some flashes blitzing. Maybe they're trying to groom him. Maybe he's the edge pick, secretly. Maybe we'll look back 2-3 years from now when that was the edge guy. So you never know. And even just to go back to the UCLA point that Rio brought up, I mean, it's actually really crazy when you think about it, because we were rumored, I think last second, by like Adam Schefter or Peter Schrager, that we were potentially targeting Carson Swessinger at 29. Then I'm almost sure we all agreed that Olawufemi Oladejo was probably a guy that we were targeting at 61 if he would have made it there as an edge rusher. Then we went and signed Kane Madrano. Then as undrafted free agents, we went and got UCLA linebacker Ale Cajo and this running back kick returner Keegan Jones kid. And then even Colin Schlee, who we brought in as an undrafted free agent from Virginia Tech, he used to be at UCLA when Ken Norton Jr. was there as well. So that UCLA thing is running strong here. I mean, Adam Peters that's his alma mater. Ken Norton Jr. was there when all of these guys that we brought in were still at UCLA. So they truly believe in whatever UCLA got going. I mean, the fact that all of the top 4 linebackers, we have the drafted, signed them as undrafted free agents, so we were rumored to be targeting them is crazy. Ken Norton Jr. has a lot of pull here.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely. It was definitely a who he played for NBA on TNT moment, because I never heard of him. He is an athletic freak for sure. He's an athletic freak.
Who that?
But looking at the board, yeah, I was concerned. At first, I was like, man, we didn't take JCM. We didn't take Damian Martinez.
I was too, a little bit.
On the board.
I was scared.
Brashard was on the board. I'm just looking at right now, like even somebody like LaQuint Allen was somebody that I was looking at too. It was a good amount of running backs. Even Kyle Monunga is not terrible as well. And I was like, dang, we're gonna end up possibly going out like with the edge spot, not getting a running back. But JCM ended up being there, so that ended up being a huge win. I know we're talking about him next, but just to get back to Kane, that was my biggest concern, because we passed up on some good running backs. But this guy, he's an athlete and a half, of course. Good ball skills, 2 picks, 3 forced fumbles, led the team in forced fumbles, 41.5-inch vertical, which is crazy to think about. No, he had a 38-inch vert. He had a 38-inch vert, 40-yard dash, 20-yard split was elite. Basically, everything was elite except for his weight. On the RAS score was a 9.83. and he ranked 57 out of 3,204 linebackers from 87 to 2025, which is just crazy to think about. So, yeah, he's going to start out as a special teams guy if he does make the 53. And then, like you guys said, just the UCLA connection, man. Him, Adam Peters, Ken Norton, just a bunch of guys now with that UCLA pipeline that's coming in, even some of the UDFAs. So I think it was a solid pick. In the 6th round, you just want to go for speed, go for an athlete. You just take a swing there. So I thought it was a solid pick, just getting a guy that just is an athlete, has a knack for ball his life, getting the football. So I'm intrigued to see what he does. Learning under Bobby Wagner and then compete with guys like Jordan McGee and some other guys on the team.
He going to be a special teams demon.
Yeah, learn from Nick Ballore, and he's in good hands.
So my initial thoughts on the pick was similar to yours, Ed. Like, they didn't take JCM. He might not be there in the 7th round. That's like anybody that's been watching knows how much I have an affinity for JCM. When I did not know him until they met with him with the top 30, I checked him out and I was like, yo, this dude is legit. And I was like, that's your late round get out of jail free card if you haven't taken running back with your first 3 picks.
Yep.
And so I thought, you can't afford to wait till the 7th round. He may not be there. And they rolled the dice. To Rico's point, they liked Kane Medrano, like that athleticism and all those traits at that moment. They liked him more. They valued him more than JCM.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. Because in their mind, they're saying, we think they rolled the dice and it came up nice for him. But they rolled the dice and said he'll still be there in the 7th round at 245. Kane Medrano won't be. With those athletic traits, someone's going to take him if we don't take him now.
Didn't Adam Peters say they felt like he was a top 100 player? Like they felt like they got a huge. I think in their mind he's the biggest steal of their draft.
Yep, they loved him
potentially. And when you see those athletic traits, and you see the first thing I thought about was Tyler Owens. Like, they drafted him to be Tyler Owens, this year's Tyler Owens, because Tyler Owens he was off the charts. He's an alien. Right. We talked about Tyler Owens last year. Like, we think he's going to make this football team because he's an alien, right? Athletically, size wise, everything. He checks off every single box, except he just didn't have the experience.
Yep.
And I think they view Kane Medrano in the same way, as far as he's got to make an impact on special teams to make the football team right away, which we expect him to do. As far as like his skill set, coverage wise, he excels in that realm, right? Former wide receiver, has tremendous ball skills, knows how to locate it. He even talked about this when he was meeting with the media, that his number one trait right now is being able to run with tight ends and running backs out of the backfield. And so I think he could carve out a niche for himself doing that. But in order to get those opportunities, he's got to kill it on special teams. So I liken him to Tyler Owens. A lot of people want to see Tyler Owens get a shot to play defense. Well, he gave himself a shot by playing elite special teams last year. Now we'll see if he can find a way to make an impression defensively in the preseason when he gets opportunities in camp and things of that nature. But Medrano is in that same kind of boat. Make an impact on special teams first. That'll give you an opportunity to be on the roster. And now we'll give you a look-see and see if we can't find a couple packages. Remember, when DQ was in Dallas, he used Marquise Bell as that Buffalo nickel linebacker, right? That hybrid come down. He was super undersized, though. He was 205 pounds as a safety coming down playing backer. Medrano's bigger, right? But he's 220, so he's still undersized for the position. But that's the NFL now, right? That's the NFL now. Guys are 220, 225 at that extra linebacker spot, that Buffalo nickel spot. So I love the upside. I love the pick. And I didn't see it coming, though. I did not think they were taking a linebacker, but height, weight, speed, back into the draft, take traits, right? And that's what they did. So love the selection. And then to wrap up, Bill, as they call him. And I found out why they call him Bill.
I seen that too.
So I was like, what the hell is going on right now?
Wait, why is his name Bill?
Okay. So apparently when he was in college initially, and this might even go back a little further to high school, he had like a low cut. His hair was pretty much like bald.
But a big ass head.
Yeah. And they said he looked like Lil Bill. If you ever seen a
cartoon, remember the cartoon Little Bill?
Yeah.
I can tell the environment he grew up in, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got them people that's named Peanut and all. Yeah, literally.
So he was Little Bill, so it stuck, and he became Bill. And so
I love that.
hey, I was like, what the hell is going on? They calling this man Bill. Like, back in the day, nicknames was crazy. Like if your name was Richard, they called you Dick.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
if you were William, they called you Bill.
Bill,
yeah. So I was like, is it one of these shits that I'm just lost on? Like,
I was like, what name am I missing here?
Yeah, right. I'm like, I know they don't call Jacory's Bill. So like, what we doing right now? So it all makes sense.
I definitely prefer the descriptive ones, the ones that describe you. You know what I'm saying? I prefer that. I way more prefer that.
I'm calling that man JCM.
Yeah. Hey. Look, you call him whatever the hell you want. I just know we got ourselves a potential starting running back in the 7th round. Right.
Yep. I agree.
One of my favorite selections of this draft is Jacory Krosky-Merritt, running back out of Arizona. And literally everything happens for a reason, if you ask me, because had this man played a full season this year, he is not here in the 7th round. The only reason this man is here for us to select is because he played one game, was then ruled ineligible, and then he was not invited to the combine because of said ineligibility. And that allowed him to kind of go under the radar throughout this process. And here we are talking about a guy that runs a sub 4.5, has tremendous agility. And I think Rio brought this point up. There's not a lot of tread off these tires. Right?
Oh, none of it. For 24 years, so you see 24-year-old running back, you think, oh, that boy got 1,000 carries. There's no tread on the tire.
So this man, it's the only thing he doesn't necessarily have a body of work of is catching the ball out of the backfield, right?
Yeah, literally just the third down stuff like pass protection and catching the ball and stuff like that.
And most backs come in the league and they're not good at pass protection because they don't ask you to do that. Yeah, exactly. They don't ask. As long as you're willing to be physical and stick your nose in there, I can work with that. Because a lot of these backs, and I was listening to Chris Ballard, I had said the same exact thing when I did my running back breakdowns, that a lot of these running backs aren't asked to pass protect in college. They're literally decoys out of the backfield. They stay in for a quick second, and then their job is to get out and become eligible. And so a lot of these guys don't know how to pass protect. They're not asked to do so at a high level. And so I'm not killing him for that, but he does not have a lot.
To your point, he's physical, because I saw a clip on Twitter that it was like a clip where he when he was asked to pass protect, he really went into it. Like he almost tackled the guy without his arms. Like it was like a big shoulder one. Right. And then the person pointed out the fact that he also kind of elevated towards the end to make sure he fully decleated the guy that was blitzing. So the physicality and the 1-2 is definitely there, to your point.
So y'all give me y'all take on JCM, on Bill.
Oh, I mean, huge steal. Just like you, I wouldn't have batted an eye if we took him in the 4th, and definitely not the 6th. I'm so happy to get him in the 7th, man. I mean, he's ridiculously talented. The potential is insane. He had the 3rd highest tackle avoided rate out of all running backs in this class. That's including Genty, all of these guys, Travion, everybody. He has the 3rd highest avoided tackle rate. And then ever since I think it's Zebra Sports has partnered with the Shrine Bowl since 2023 and the Senior Bowl since 2018. He's 1st all-time in max deceleration out of all running backs and 6th all-time in max acceleration, which is why when you look at his relative athletic score, the only reason he's not a 9.3 at least is because his agility grade is bad. And I don't know what happened when he did that workout, because when you look at him on tape, agility is the thing I question the least.
Right. And that's part of that. That factors into those missed tackles you're talking about. He is able to make guys miss in a phone booth.
He gets busy, man. I ain't seen a jump cut here since AP. And
that shit was slow and antiquated by the time we got AP jump cut. But he still could do it, though.
Yeah, it's like 7%, but it's better than anything we've had.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. I like JCM a lot, man. I seen someone, I forgot who it was. They said, Genty's the only back in this class with better contact balance than JCM. That is high praise. The way that he decelerates, and can change speeds, get lateral, but he's not an east to west runner. That looks like a running back, guys. He can run. Like this is not your typical 7th round pick. I know they was praying him down the board. He's all I wanted in the 7th round, especially after my kicker came off.
Rio was hurt.
Borgala is like Ed represent that defender's kicker. So that was my guy. I seen him at 65 at his pro day, and I was like, sold. But HCM is like, some people are going to say, oh, look at them sicing a 7th round running back. He went to the one NFL team where there is a room full of Robins. There is not a Batman in our running back room. And we have a foundation of solid, good guy, complimentary backs. This is the place where you want to get drafted as a day 3 running back or an undrafted free agent, because there is room for you to not only steal snaps here, but by mid-season, you could be the guy. Like, you could, don't let an injury or something happen. I'm gonna knock on wood. I'm not trying to add it.
Yeah. And don't say nothing. Don't comment on it.
Don't let anybody miss anything.
Don't comment on it.
Don't let somebody miss a game or two. Somebody miss a game or two, and like, watch what he do in the preseason. He gonna fry them backups and them backups because he's not supposed to be out there with 3rd and 4th stringer. He's gonna go crazy. It's gonna look like Lake C Strunk, but like regular, not like one breakout play.
Yeah.
To your point with the East-West Shrine Bowl, again, purely just eligibility issues. Talent-wise, he had no business being there. That's why he ended up being the offensive MVP, and I don't even think it was close.
Right.
But he had like 97 yards on 11 carries and 2 touchdowns. Like, he looked like a guy that had no business being at that level of competition. I agree. When he's going to kill it at preseason, it's going to be like, why is this guy out here with the 3rd stringers? Like, he's going to embarrass a lot of people. I also want to add another stat that against stacked boxes, JCM had the highest rushing success rate out of the entire class as well. So, you know, you bring that extra defender all you want, he's going to make them miss and still find a way to get some yards. And boy, we needed every bit of that last year. It's ridiculous that we have a guy as strong as Brian Robinson, and I'm not absolutely sure that we're going to get a first down on 3rd and 1. We have to rely on Jaden Daniels to do speed options to the outside to get those on the
quarterback Keats, and you're like, hey, I don't need to see that naked boot Keat no more. Like, put that shit in the bag and put it away.
Culturally, I think he's a perfect fit too, because despite the fact that he was ineligible for the season, he stayed with the team. He stayed around the team. He stayed in shape, traveled with him, and still did all. He went about his business, and he handled the draft process as well as any young 23, 24-year-old could handle it. So I know they fell in love when they took this guy out on the meeting, and there was a reason why he got a top 30 visit. Another meeting turned draft pick here in DC.
And I think to that point too, sorry, Ed, that like that go ahead, Ed. I actually forgot my point. I'll come back to it. I had it right there.
Yeah, it'd be like that sometime, man.
The first thing I was going to say, that he went to every practice. Like, they're looking for character guys, and you know, we haven't talked about Mike Green much because, you know, he was there at pick 29 and he almost was there again at pick 61. So clearly they pass up on Mike Green because of the character concerns. But this guy fits the Commander character. The fact that he went to every practice and traveled with the team when he was ineligible is insane. And then the first game of the season, he went crazy on the team that he transferred from New Mexico. So he had a revenge game there, and he was turned up. So like, he's super explosive, man. Like, we need a guy like this. He's a change of pace guy, but he's the first down. Like, the reports came, they were looking for a 3-down back. He's capable of playing all 3 downs. He's not just a 3rd down back or just a bruiser back. Like, he can clearly do it all. The receiving game production is not there, but he did have 200 receiving yards in one season. So he's clearly capable of doing it. He's so shifty. Like, him, just get him the football. It doesn't matter. Like, just get him the football. So RAS score off the charts, 40-inch vert. I think he actually had a 41.5 vert, if I'm not 40. Yeah, he had a 41.5-inch vertical leap, which is insane. That's insane. 4.4 40-yard dash. The 20-yard split was elite. Like, everything was elite. 8.29 RAS score. 5'10", 206 pounds. So I mean, we need that bad to get him in the 7th round, because like you guys said, he was really gonna, if he played a full season, he could have been a 4th round pick, 3rd round pick. A couple people had a 3rd round grade on him.
I did. I did. I had a 3rd, 4th round grade on him just based off of what I had watched. Like, because I watched him after I had made my top 20 running back list, And when I came back, I was like, he's probably like the 9th best running back in this draft class.
Right.
You know
At worst, a 6th round grade or really a 5th round grade. If he would have played at least 8, 9, 10 games, I think he had 200 yards in back-to-back games in the last.
He did at the last 2 games
Yeah.
of his 2023 season.
Yeah, with New Mexico. So I mean, we got to still, man. Somehow, some way, he did fly under the radar. Like you guys said, he probably would have been at the Senior Bowl, the Reese Senior Bowl, but he went to the East-West Shrine game, and even that, like, people are rusty, but nah, like, he was ready to go in that one game. The one opportunity that he did get after playing the one game, he balled out and showed out. So, yeah, that's a steal, man. He's going to get more opportunities than a lot of guys that went in front of him because we have a huge need. So, and like you said in Rio with preseason, like him and Jalen Lane, like they're both going to go crazy in preseason. I love watching
demon time.
Preseason.
Demon time.
Like that Jared Patterson type preseason. Like he's going to have one of those type preseason where he just was bonkers in the game.
Jared Patterson. Look at another name drop, man. Jared Patterson. There was some Jared Patterson stands on this.
Yeah. Boy, they rode for him.
They rode for him hard, bro. I was like, yo, chill.
And to the point that, like, this is like a super Dan Quinn guy. Because first of all, his family was 20 deep. I think they drove from Alabama all the way to the Hula Bowl to support him. Mm-hmm. But also to the point that, like, he's stuck on the roster to just stay on the practice squad just to be involved. And then the chip on the shoulder that he had to go against his former team and put up over 100 yards. I think he'll carry that same chip on his shoulder with the fact that he knows he's not a 7th round pick running back. He just knows that, you know, due to weird circumstances. And hey, shout out to his former team for snitching on him. Because I firmly believe they're the ones that put the word.
Without question. Without question. Like, oh, you think you're going to transfer and leave us? We got something
for
your ass.
And whoop us?
Stuff right there.
Yeah. You think you're going to transfer and put up over 100 yards?
And put up a bucket some change?
We got something for that.
All right, yeah. Don't worry. That'll be the last time.
They definitely sent the letter.
That'll be the last time you play a game this year.
They definitely sent the email. Yeah. The email was definitely sent immediately after that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think he's going to play with a severe chip on his shoulder. His whole family, you can tell even his family believes, like, we're willing to travel because we know you're a really good talent. You just ended up in weird circumstances. We're going to back you as much as possible. And so this guy, if anybody's going to come in hitting the ground running with something to prove this offseason, it's going to be him. I wouldn't be surprised if he out gyms a lot of the other, like, guys in our draft class where he's the one working out the hardest, the longest, first one in, first, last one out. He seems like he's going to be that type of guy. Like he really has something to prove.
His draft call was great. Like, did y'all hear his draft call, man?
Yeah.
He said, man, y'all got yourself a good one. Had his family making noise. They made some noise for him in the room. They sitting
I love that Adam Peters said
sitting back looking around at each other like, y'all, did we just find our next, like, future starting running back with our last 245?
Yeah.
Still.
And the beauty of it is he can hit a home run.
He can.
We got a guy that can hit a home run.
It was pass rusher, home run hitting running back. Those are our 2 biggest needs coming to the draft.
We got a back that can hit the home run, man.
Shout out Bill.
Shout out to Bill, man. Hey, how about Jalen Lane calling everybody coach? Called the owner coach, called the GM coach. Everybody was coach.
That's a draft thing. It's like you're not looking at who's on the phone. You're so excited. Everybody is on the phone as coach.
It's coach. Hey, hey, man, it was awesome, man. I love it. I love it. So before we get to the comment section, final grades. Give me your overall thoughts and a grade for the 5-man draft for the Commanders. Ed, what's your grade?
Nothing less than an A-. I would say A-. The only thing is not
edge.
Not getting an edge. But I'm really not, like I said, we're not tripping over that. It's not the end all be all like a lot of people, because I've seen a lot of national media people kind of ding the grade because of that. But that's like the only gripe. And I was a big Donovan E fan. And to see him, of course, go to an NFC East opponent is rough. Jahai Campbell was there too. I was pretty high on him as well. But
damn, Dallas, can we just say, I didn't mean to cut you off, but damn, boy, they got a couple of ones that we was looking at pretty heavy. in Donovan Ezaraku and Jaden Blue. I was like, ugh.
It's the Cowboys, the Patriots, and the Chargers that took most of the guys I really wanted in the draft.
Yeah.
Those are the three classes.
Yep.
Yeah, the Patriots, they had so many picks, so they're going to get so many guys.
Yep.
But no, that's about it. Like I said, I like the Connerly pick. Trey Amos is a steal for sure, and happy we didn't get a kicker, even though we need one. I just didn't want to use a draft pick on a kicker, so I'm fine with that. We got our running back that we needed. So I think for the most part, the only thing that was really missing was an edge. So I think nothing less than an A-.
Rico,
you got the guy that shut down Abdul Carter and Connerly, so you can move them into.
I went back and watched that joint again. I mean, he really put the clamps on him, like really put the clamps on him. Rico,
yes, sir. Yeah, I have a A-. I'm starting to lean to. I had an A-, and then Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. I think he took it to an A. Now I have to reserve A+ for if you went into the draft and fixed every single need that you have, especially most notably what everybody feels like was the biggest need was pass rusher. And then also, of course, drafts. You end up with Malachi Starks and Mike Green in the same draft. I don't care what it is. I feel like there's a certain tier, like we can't give A+ to everybody. So I feel like we're right under that, especially when we did only 5 picks. And I really want to emphasize to people that you have to include as a third round Marshawn Lattimore, as a third round, half of what we gave up for Laramie Tunsil, and then a 5th round for Deebo Samuel in the draft class. So it's technically Josh Connolly, it's Trey Amos, it's Marshawn Lattimore, it's Laramie Tunsil, it's then Jalen Lane, then Deebo Samuel, then Kane Madrano, and then Ja'Cory JCM Bill. So I feel like when people look at it that way, then you start to feel way better about the draft. And I mean, first of all, we did a great job of building around Jaden Daniels. Everybody complains about he didn't have enough weapons, he didn't have enough offensive line. We had a top 12 offensive line arguably last year, even though I feel like it bottomed out towards like the last few games of the season in the playoffs. But overall, from start to finish in general, it was like top 12, top 15. Now 2 starters from that O-line are backups. I would argue we have potentially a top 5 offensive line in the NFL. And then again, just Jalen Lane being a man of many hats that's also going to be a starting punt return. The most speed we've had in our punt return room since Brandon Banks, on top of the fact that he's your Deebo Samuel guy behind the line of scrimmage in a little way, and he's your deep threat and potentially a starting slot receiver. And then, of course, I love the Josh Connolly pick. I know a lot of people, I mean, I was sick that we didn't get Donovan Ezaraku or Mike Green, but, I mean, we got the guy that can erase those guys. That's the reason I'm not worried about the Cowboys getting them, because, again, this guy literally made Abdul Carter have his worst game last year as an edge rusher. And this is not like beginning of the season Abdul Carter, where it's like, okay, maybe he didn't, get comfortable being an edge rusher yet. This was like the Big Ten championship or something like that. The very end of the season, at the height of where he was, is as far as learning the position, 0 pressure, 0 any stats, completely eliminated from the game. Didn't even look like a top 5 pick in the class that game. And so the fact that, the Giants spent the 3rd overall pick for the guy, we got the guy that's going to completely erase him from a game with the 29th overall pick, which is, again, why I don't, I'm not worried about the whole Donovan Ezaraku in the division and things like that, because we got the guy, we have bookend guys that can handle that. And then also, I mean, just Cliff Kingsbury, how imaginative he is, man. Jalen Lane with everything that he could do, especially to the fact that he could even throw a touchdown pass. And then on top of that, you have Josh Connolly, who not only has caught a touchdown pass, he's more athletic than Trent Scott. He was a running back and a tight end in high school. And Oregon even ran a wildcat with him where he took a direct snap and ran in for a touchdown after running like 3 people over. So Cliff Kingsbury, this is I can add a whole nother set of plays to the playbook type of draft, man. Even on top of what we did defensively, Cliff Kingsbury's playbook just got even bigger with the guys that we just added, either, trading for guys and what we did in this draft class.
Yeah. For me, my grade is B+, but Rico said it best. You have to include Deebo Samuel, Marshawn Lattimore, and Laramie Tunsil. So with all of that included, we're grading on a curve. That's an A draft. That's an A off season. That is an A draft. We finished a lot of rooms. We put the finishing touches to the offensive line in Josh Connolly Jr. We put the finishing touches to a new, improved, revamped cornerback room. Done are the days of Emmanuel Forbes and Benjamin St. Juste and Michael Davis and Noah Igbenogany. Now Jonathan Jones is cornerback 4. Mikey Sanders still goes back to the slot where one of his best traits as a demon in college was how he blitzed from the slot and how he was there to smack running back, there to pressure quarterback. You want to get edge pressure and you're not sure how we're going to do so, add extra pressure like Mikey Sanders still in the slot. We're finishing rooms. Trey Amos finishes off the cornerback room. One of the few things we're missing in our wide receiver room is some real significant speed. Terry, once upon a time, ran a 4.3. Terry's probably running mid 4.4s at this point. And sometime he flashes the 4.3 again, like the play when he ran the screen versus the Lions or the play versus the Dallas Cowboys. But the wide receiver room is missing two things: a good big receiver and some speed. They get the speed demon. They get a starter at punt returner. So as a starting returner, your first 3 picks of the draft are starters. Kane Madrano puts the finishing piece to one of your rooms. It might be a linebacker, it might be a safety, it might be a tweener, with Dominique Hampton and Jordan McGee filling in behind Louvu and Bobby Wagner. He adds something that he can split time between safety and linebacker, another room being finished, and we're getting potentially our 2026 and going forth starter at running back in the 7th round of the draft. We have a running back room full of guys on expiring contract, a bunch of 1-year deals and non-guarantees in the running back room. He's making the team. He's going to get on the field this year, and at some point, probably by the latest 2026, he's going to be the team starting running back and the only running back on the roster going into the offseason. So that's an A draft when you include that we got a top 3 blocking left tackle, pass blocking left tackle, Deebo Samuel, in a prove-it situation. And you know how guys turn up in contract years. The team goes from not having players that can make things happen with the ball in their hand to adding Deebo Samuel, who's a headache to tackle, Jalen Lane, who is a house call every time he touches the ball. He can get it as a reverse, he can get it as an option player or in the slot. And JCM, a running back that can do a little bit of everything, has speed and can hit a home run. It ain't just pop flies with him. It ain't just getting to the sticks and running behind offensive linemen. It's a guy who could take it to the distance, man. That's a B+ to an A draft right there.
And I just want to add for Connolly too, another thing that this enables Cliff Kingsbury to do is that, you know, with them, you could argue there were better, you know, run blocking tackles in this draft class, but nobody was more mobile and athletic than Josh Connolly, especially out in space. So that's going to make Jaden Daniels running with the ball in his hands way better and more productive. He's going to be able to get further down the field before first contact. And same with Deebo Samuel and Terry McLaurin and all these guys on screens. Josh Connolly is the best get out to the second level tackle in this entire draft class. So that's going to help a lot with a lot of things Cliff Kingsbury wants to do there as well.
As far as the grade, I agree with you guys. I was in that B+ range. And then when you factor in Deebo Samuel and Laramie Tunzel, it pushes it to like an A- for me. This is a draft where your first 3 picks, as Rio just said, are starters. I think the most underrated pick might be Trey Amos in the 2nd round, because as much as we talk about the offense and what Connolly is going to bring, and what I think we're most excited about JCM, right? Bill in the 7th round, because of getting that kind of talent that late in the draft and the impact that he can have at a position that we all wanted to upgrade. I think we're so excited there. And then, you know, you kind of get lost in what Lane can do and his athleticism. And I've been screaming for a punt returner for years. Anybody that knows me knows I'm so excited that we got a punt returner finally. But
right with you,
Amos is the key, because for as good of an offense as we were last year, and I think we can be this year, defensively, our biggest thing was who were we going to have to stop other teams? Like, our division is loaded at receiver, right? And if the Giants get a guy to actually throw the football, and they got 3 quarterbacks now, we'll see what happens. But they had a rookie receiver who missed like 3 or 4 games, still go over 1,000 yards last year. Like, Malik Neighbors is a dog, right? We know what CeeDee Lamb is, and we know what the Eagles have at receiver. So we have a division full of dogs at the receiver position. And we need to be able to at least slow them down. If you ain't going to stop them, at least slow them down. We got a guy that can help us do that now with Trey Amos. We look, as much as I'm banking on Marshawn Lattimore staying healthy this year, he don't have the best track record of doing that. So at least you still have a guy that you can trust. Should something go awry on that side of the field, you still got Trey Amos that you think can hold it down for you. And if you have to move Mikey out or you got to take Jonathan Jones and put him out there, at least you still got another guy that's a true boundary corner that can hold it down for you. And so we talk about taking the ball away. Amos is a guy that can do that. Kane Madrano is a guy that can do that, right? He forced 3 fumbles this year in addition to 2 interceptions. So this is a guy that can, make plays on the football. As Rico alluded to, he had some blitzing prowess, had 11 tackles for loss his final year at UCLA. He's a guy that I think can also help. Obviously special teams is where he's going to make his hay, but above all else, we got faster. One of my biggest complaints about this team last year is outside of Jaden Daniels, De'Ami Brown, and Terry McLaurin on offense, you didn't have any speed. On defense, outside of, Jeremy Chin and your safeties, really, and Quan Martin, you didn't really have any speed on defense. And so Marshawn Lattimore came into the mix. He didn't look right. He didn't look like the fast corner that we knew him to be in New Orleans. So you couldn't even count him for a guy that had speed last year. So you've upgraded significantly multiple positions, but more importantly, overall team speed. We got faster as a football team, and that makes me smile because in this league, speed kills. You can't coach it. You can't teach it. Either you got it or you don't. And now we've added a lot more of it to our roster. So let's get to the comment section and see what everybody's talking about. And we'll kick the night off.
And before we get to that too, thank everybody who tuned into our draft night 2 stream. That's our biggest stream yet. Over 20,000 viewers, 5.5 long. Even my son Lil Rio pulled up for a second on stream, man. That was a great night with y'all boys counting down them picks.
Yes, it was indeed. It was to commemorate that.
One time.
Yeah, one time for the one time.
Hear that sound again for another 350 days. Man.
Rico hurting right now.
Did y'all see the clip when Shiloh Sanders when he was with like his little cousin or something like that, and then he played the sound. He was like, the last pick of the draft will be Shiloh Sanders. He was like trolling him with the draft.
Oh yeah, it was Young Dolph's son.
Yeah, Dolph's son. Yeah.
Nah, I didn't see that, man. That's crazy though. I'm still tripping off of if they making you wait, what they gonna do to me? Hey, shout out to the almost 1,100 of you out there right now watching this particular stream. If you are out there supporting the Kings, man, we really truly do appreciate you. Do us a huge favor, hit that like button, as that helps this channel grow exponentially. Subscribe for more great content if you haven't already done so. If you've done that, make sure you turn on that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. So with that said, Paul Kyoko will start the night off for us. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Our guy Paul says, what up, Kings? What up, Paul? He said, fire draft, new stadium deal. We back.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
We are. I mean, it feels good. Feels good to be back, man. Indeed, it does. Red House, not Roadhouse. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, in the words of Lou, feels good. I literally just said it. That's crazy. Feels good. Oh, man, it feels good. Oh, man, it feels good. Feels good to be back, man. Red House, not Roadhouse. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Writes, all thanks to Ron. Hashtag Ron's plan. When I told y'all Ron's plan after year 1, I did not envision Ron's plan being this, but boy, that plan came together beautifully. None of this is possible without Ronald. What is it? Eugene or Edward?
Eugene. Shout out Ron.
Shout out to Ronald Eugene Rivera
Sailboat.
Greg
Yes.
Zerline
I was
too.
gonna say that.
Yes.
I was gonna say that. Greg
Yes.
Zerline available?
Hey, look, man. When we win the Super Bowl with Jaden Daniels, we got to send Greg Zerline a ring, bro.
We do.
We got
Break
to
the leg.
man. He got to get one, man.
DC legend for life. He'll always eat for free in the city.
Always. And somebody was like, the new stadium is going to be the house that Jaden built. And I'm like,
That's
you
so fun.
damn right it's going to be, man.
That's
we might
crazy.
already had 2 chips under our belt before we even set foot in that joint, man. How crazy would that be?
Oh man, you talking that talk now, bro.
Yeah, I'm
talking that talk.
and I said the only thing that might be a little sour is I don't know if Terry ever gets to set foot in there as a player, man. We talking we talking 5 years from now, bro.
Terry getting up there, man.
I don't know if he'll
this
make
is
it.
30-year-old season right
Yeah,
here. Now.
right. He might be pushing 35, 36 by the time we get there. I don't know if a 35, 36-year-old Terry is still in the league.
Hey,
or
he better come back for that league minimum last year on some Larry Fitzgerald. Like when the guys get up there, just one more. We gotta put Terry in that. I don't care if you got gray in your hair and all. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like he just got to get in there one time for the one time, man. We got to get Terry in that stadium, bro.
17 gotta touch turf.
Yeah, he got to touch grass there for sure. Mark Mullinex, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Mark writes, hey, Kings, what up, Mark? Let's go, man. Really appreciate you as always. He says they should make the stadium where it can turn into a basketball, soccer, hockey. I saw a video of a stadium like that. It was cool. What would you guys think of that idea? They transform stadiums all the time. I don't know if I mean, I'm pretty sure they could put stuff down to play hockey on it, but I don't know if I could see it transforming into it. But they could definitely play soccer, and they turn football stadiums into basketball arenas all the time.
Yeah, the Final Four could be in there.
So that's nothing. They'll be able to do that for all of those events. Hockey is the only one where I'm like, I don't know about that one. But all those other sports, without question, they'll be able to. I mean, remember, they said they want to host a World Cup, right? So you would be playing soccer there. They want to host a Final Four, so they would be playing basketball.
Olympics one day, WrestleMania,
they want all that.
Concerts, festivals,
the
whole
They want
nine.
it all. They want it all. Yeah.
The All-Star game is due to come back to DC too. It hasn't been in DC.
Ooh, and it's gonna be popping at the new stadium, man.
Yo, they used to have a festival that used to come down there.
Something in the water?
No, that's something in the water.
That water is supposed to be down there. When they put it in DC, that joint was terrible.
Yeah, I heard it was.
It was awful.
It was. They had a different festival that used to be in TC. Man, I forget the name.
I know we used to go to RFK. We used to go to the Stone Soul Picnic.
Stone Soul Picnic.
Stone Soul Picnic. That used to be the vibe every summer, bro. We was in there as a family, bro.
Hey, that's
festival.
Huh? Broccoli. There you go. That's the one
Broccoli
I was trying
Fest.
Broccoli was the one I was trying to think of. Thank you, Ed. The broccoli joint used to be there, so they might be able to bring something like that, maybe on a bigger scale once you get the stadium. So it's gonna be pretty cool seeing all of the different things that you'll be able to do when you got a big venue like that. Man, as a whole entire unit, that's awesome, man. Fuck you, go. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, taking out a loan for a glizzy is crazy work.
You know what's crazy? Financing that shitty pizza Lou be eating.
Hey, look, man. What I'm trying to tell y'all is it'll be worth it. Like a glizzy, you can get that anywhere, man. But my pizza,
hey, glizzies hit different at a sporting event, bro. I don't know what it is, bro. It's like the taste of like when a hot dog comes off the grill. It don't hit the same as glizzies out the pack, man.
Yeah. Hey, if nothing else, my pizza is gonna make you feel so much better about yourself, man.
Probably so.
Yeah, it's gonna make you feel better about yourself, man. So. Door Gunner. Here we go. He is the biggest detractor of my pizza, man. Door Gunner, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, my guy. Door Gunner writes, lose trash pizza, $45 at the new RFK. LOL. Hey, it'll probably be $45 a slice, not for the whole pie, right? But I'm telling you right now, you will feel so much better after you eat that pizza, man. You will be fulfilled more than you think. More than you think. Neil Rack, and thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, everyone is aligned. This feels so different. Don't it though?
It does.
Don't it though, fellas?
It really
It's
does.
beautiful.
It almost bring a tear to your eye, man. Like
It's refreshing.
it's refreshing. It's refreshing. Oh man. Door Gunner, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes? He says I've been dogging Lou on X about the pizza.
He's
LOL.
passionate about
Bro,
this.
he been killing me. Him and his dog. His dog is like, bro, really? Like every time he tweets something, he posts him and his dog. Like, bro, no. I'm telling you, just try it. You'll like it. I forgot what cartoon that is. Try it. You'll like it. I'm telling you, you'll like it, man. Just give it a spin. Just give it a spin.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Mullinex, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Mark. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, hey, Lou, I'll let him know if you have a Mods pizza, Lou will come. He will come, people. He will come. I'm telling you, have a Mods, a Your Pie, a Blaze, something. I'll be in the building, but what I've learned in my veganism is a lot of times they don't account for you, man. So you got to either come prepared, you got to eat before you go.
Bag lunch.
Come prepared or prepare to eat some French fries or some bullshit you don't want to eat. So if you really want me in the building, give me an option. Give me something.
Make it at the tailgate. Yeah, make it at the tailgate.
I'm telling you, we got 5 years to get you to lose lunch in the stadium, man.
I like that. I like that idea. Lose lunch.
Lose lunch. The alliteration sells the whole thing.
Oh, of course it does. Yeah, I love it. Let's make it happen. Gear Cell 1. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. And you got to read this.
Here we go.
Shout out to our guy Gear Cell, man.
Any council member that votes against the deal wears slippery grape high heels with caramel gray turtlenecks with a zipper in the back and an Anacostia temp face. What
the hell is that?
What the hell is caramel gray?
Right. How do you put those two together, right? What the hell is caramel gray?
What shade is caramel
right.
gray?
Like, how do you even put those two together, bro? Like, wait a minute. This man put two colors that absolutely do not go together, and it still sounded fire.
Yeah, caramel gray turtlenecks, bro. You
sound like a boring textbook.
What's the color? What that look like, bro?
Hey, nah. So I need y'all to explain to me what an Anacostia temp fade looks like. What is that?
No,
and what does an Anacostia temp fade look like?
I don't know. I mean, he was talking about the sideburns from PG County last time, and I do see what he's talking about with the sideburns. I do see that. There's a
the tip fade might be clean.
It's the Anacostia version though. That might.
He's saying they ain't blending fades. There's no blend out there.
Ain't no blending out there, bro.
It look like a Lego. Like a Lego hair put on top.
Oh man.
Hey, go ahead, man. That man said caramel gray, bro. I'm still.
I'm confused by the slippery grape. Like, what change? What's the color change on the grape based off the slippery?
So slippery, I would assume it's like maybe patent leather or something.
Something shiny.
Something shiny, right?
Red looking.
Yeah, right. Like that's what I'm getting off. I can visualize that. The caramel gray took me out. Like I don't even know how to.
I'm gonna be thinking about that one for a couple of days now because I want to know how you put caramel gray. Like, I want to know what that comes out to.
Hey, we gotta ask Young Dro, man. we gotta get Dro to explain us how the hell you get caramel gray. Christopher McLaughlin, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy C Mac, thank you.
Yeah,
for the Dubski. Really appreciate you. Also, thank you for the Dubski. Gear Cell 1. Chris writes, hey Lou, Rio, Rico, and Ed. Shout out to our guy Chris. What up? Hope everyone is well. Likewise. 3 questions. 1 and 2. How would you rank our team in the NFL post-draft? And are we the second best team in the NFC? And then 3, What do you think Joe Witt Jr. can do differently with the defense now with the addition of Trey Amos? So where would you rank our team in the NFL post-draft? And are we the second best team in the NFC, in your humble opinion?
I think that,
so let me ask you this first. Where did you guys think we were before the draft? And did the draft change how you felt about us afterwards? Because you might have already felt like we were the second best team.
Yeah. It just further confirms it and adds to the notion that we're a contender in the NFC. We're going to challenge the Eagles for the division this year, because whether you want to admit it or not, we were in the race for it this year until we decided to lose 3 games in a row. And we were still, if the Eagles would have collapsed in any way, had a chance to, we won.
Yeah, it really was. It was that first Dallas game. We couldn't afford to lose that one, because if we hadn't lost that one, they would have had to win at the end. They didn't have to, right? That was the one where you're like, man, because you got to win those division games, right?
I would say we're a top 4 team in the NFC. I would say the Eagles, the Rams, the Lions, and us are the top 4 teams in the conference. You can stack up teams 2 through 4, however you like, but we're the farthest along. We're the least farther along of those teams in the development process. But when you got a quarterback like Jaden Daniels, who I think is already the best quarterback in the conference, and you've added talent, you've made an elite offense even better, you're going to have a chance and a ticket to the dance every year. How do I think Joe Witt can differently with the defense? He's going to have to adjust to the personnel that he has. I think our run defense, by way of who we signed and added to the team this year, gets better. I think the cornerback room is a strength now and was definitely a huge weakness on the team last year. He's going to have to find a good blend of being aggressive and trusting his players and getting the most out of what we have on the roster. There's talent on the defensive side of the ball. I think he's a good coach. I don't care how last year looked. I don't think we were ever horrible. We were awful against the run, but this defense overachieved in ways, in the playoffs, that Eagles game, it got nasty for us. Turnovers didn't help, but Joe Witt just has to find a way to tap into these guys forcing turnovers, because if this defense can be a turnover forcer and you're giving Jaden extra possessions with the ball, a ball that he don't typically give back to the other team, then we are on in business and we can compete with anybody in the conference and in the league.
Yeah, that's a difficult question to attack, because free agency is different. After free agency, it's not like we're all like, okay, you sign a guy, then you sign a guy, then you sign a guy. It's not like this is a specific order like the draft. And I feel like we did a great job of taking advantage of free agency with being able to trade for guys like Laramie Tunsil, Deebo Samuel, and also feel like we signed a lot of talent, to make sure we went into the draft with a floor. But the draft is different, at the end of the day, unless you're just, I don't know, but everybody's going to come away with some sort of talent. If you're trying to see if you feel better about yourself after the draft, how much more did you improve than other teams improving? Because technically everybody improved with the draft. And I do feel like we maybe gained a little bit more of a gap on some of the other teams around us. Of course, we still got to figure out what's going on with pass rusher. But I feel like Trey Amos makes our secondary so much better. I feel like Josh Connolly makes our offensive line room so much better. I feel like Jacory makes our running back room so much better. And so even though every team improves in the draft, I feel like we improved at a slightly higher rate than a lot of other teams in the NFC. So I feel like, I'm with Rio. We're definitely in that. It's the Eagles tier 1. And then there's this tier 2 of the Rams, Commanders, Lions, whatever order you want to put us in. I would dare say we're maybe second, especially with the Lions losing a lot of their coaching staff. And then we have the best quarterback in the division, like Rio said as well.
Yes, sir.
The best quarterback in the conference.
Conference. My fault. I said division. Yeah.
Hey, Lou said you better put some reference. He said, whoa, a little bit too much dip on your chip there, bro.
Thank you, because I was tripping.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the score power rankings that just came out 14 hours ago. They have us ranked 6th, and I'm kind of with that too. So they have us behind the Lions, which I would probably put us above the Lions because we just beat them. So the Rams are there too, but we're 6th overall. And then
I throw the Bucks in there too. I think
the Bucks are like 10th I'm looking at they're behind the Rams, and like I said, I always say I have a lot of respect for the Rams because they wanted Devontae Adams. I think he's going to do well with with Stafford. But yeah, I would say about 6th or 5th around the Lions, and then they got the Ravens and the Bills and Chiefs ahead of us right now. So I think that's about right. I think about 6th or 5th, and 2nd in the whole NFC, probably behind the Eagles right now. But the draft, yeah, it didn't really change. Like you guys said, the trades that we made for Debo, the trades that we made for Laramie were more the needle moving moves, or the moves to keep us where we were at. Because even before we brought in Debo, before we brought in Laramie, I still thought we were a top 6, top 5 team because of the quarterback, because of Terry, and just the offense that we run and whatnot. So yeah, I still think top 6, top 5 for sure. And then as far as Joey Jr. with the defense, I think we probably will not have Marshawn follow anybody anymore. I think, we can trust Trey Amos on the other side. Just keep Marshawn on his side, keep Trey on his side. If we don't play the Buccaneers, but for example, like A.J. Brown, we have Marshawn following A.J. Brown. I think we can trust Trey because he has the body type and the speed to match physicality with A.J. And then if Devontae's on the other side, just have Marshawn stick with Devontae. Whatever happens with the Eagles game, whatever matchup they want to do, I just don't think it's really necessary to have Marshawn follow AJ. If that's something Joe Witt wants to do, if they feel like that's necessary, whatever, go ahead and do it. Same thing if we play the Bucs in the playoffs with Mike Evans. I'd rather just have Trey match up with Mike. And then if Mike goes to the other side, Marshawn matches up with Mike. So you can look at it that way. And then probably playing more man just because we have, like I said, Trey is a physical corner. John Jones can be in the mix too. And then you can put another guy in the box to slow down the run game too. So those are the things that I think as far as like matchup wise.
Yep. I agree with pretty much all you guys' sentiments. Rio, in terms of the rankings, I think you could put 2 through 4. I would even throw the Bucs in there at 5. And say you put them in whatever order you want. I think we're somewhere in that 2-3 range. But ultimately, I think, we're one of the best teams in the conference after Philadelphia. And I really, the draft solidified some things for us. It gave us a better feel for, certain positions, and it gives you a little bit more comfort knowing that, okay, we got another boundary corner now. Okay, we got a real right tackle now. Now Coleman doesn't have to play tackle. He play guard where he probably naturally should be. So you feel good about some of those things. But I felt like we were already, like Ed said, one of those teams before the draft. And the draft just kind of solidified that. As far as the defense, I think Ed hit it on the head. I think you play more man now. And I know we played a lot of man last year to a degree. Because sometimes when you're running zone, once they run into your zone, it turns into man. So we were doing a lot of that last year, but I think you can actually play a lot more man coverage now, and you can blitz behind that. You can get a little bit more creative based off of the ability to cover now that you've got a guy that you feel like can cover in the nickel, even though I thought Noah did a great job last year in the nickel for us. You can cover with Mikey in the nickel. You got 2 boundary guys that you feel comfortable playing man coverage. So that should allow you. And I like Mikey's ability to blitz and be aggressive. Like, they didn't ask Noah Igbenogany to blitz from the nickel last year, right? I think you can ask Mikey to do that. You can ask Mikey to do a lot of different things that you weren't really comfortable asking Noah to necessarily do from the slot. So I think you can do some of those things with the defense now with the addition of a Trey Amos. So thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Christopher McLaughlin, my guy. Kenny B, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Kenny B writes, love it that we and the media cannot predict the position we select anymore. In 2021, we knew linebacker. In 2022, we knew receiver. In 2023, we knew cornerback. You're right about all of those.
We always pick the wrong one.
And we always pick the wrong one. He ain't never like Kenny B. Let AP cook, man. Is he cooking for sure? And you're not wrong, man. He's cooking it up, man. Cooking it up. Christopher McLaughlin, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling it up. Once again, who writes, hey, Lou, Rico, Rio, and Ed, 2 questions. How comfortable are each of you with B-Rob as RB1 this season? We'll let Ed take that one first. I think I think we are another draft away from having a chance at a consistent Super Bowl run. Still need TE1, RB1, edge, middle linebacker, place kicker, and safety. Thoughts? So Ed, what do you think about B-Rob as how comfortable are you with B-Rob as RB1 this season?
Yeah, no, I still got a lot of love for B Rob, man. Like I said, we are bringing B Rob to a Saquon Barkley fight and Jahmyr Gibbs fight, but the first 8 weeks of the season, B Rob is fine, and that's why it's great that we have JCM because first 8 weeks of B Rob is going to be great. He's going to give you a 90-yard game, probably a 100-yard game here, and probably a 70-80-yard game with 2 touchdowns. But when you get to weeks 8 and 9, he gets burnt out. And he's a game time decision every game. And then you got to
every week.
every week. And then you got to activate Chris Rodriguez. You got to yank him off the practice squad. You can only do that a certain amount of time. So we ran out of times to do that for Chris Rodriguez. And then we had to release him and then we had to bring him back. So now you're not going to have to do that because you have JCM instead. And you got Eckler, who's just going to be your third down back. And Eckler is going to get less snaps, which is, good to keep Eckler fresh and healthy. But to answer the question, I'm fine with where we're at with B-Rob because you have JCM, and this is a 1-year deal or 1 year left on B-Rob's contract. But I'm fine with B-Rob because he's a tough runner. He's a character guy. He's a commander. And like I said, the first 8 weeks, he's going to get the job done the first 8 weeks. It's just weeks 8 through 17 where we're going to need JCM to really step up in that second half of the season.
And as far as are we another draft away from being a Super Bowl contender, or do you think we have a chance to make a run at the chip now?
Yeah, right now. Why not? I mean, offensive line has been improved drastically, and the offensive line wasn't they weren't terrible last year. Like they had some really good moments. So the offensive line got even better.
Mm-hmm.
You brought in Debo, then you brought a speedster in Jalen Lane, and you got a good corner in Trey Amos. The cornerback room improved a lot from guys who probably could be in the UFL that we had starting and being backups right there. No disrespect to the UFL. But and Jaden's only going to get better, man. He's only going to get better. And he has an offensive coordinator that he's familiar with where he doesn't have to learn a new playbook, where him and Cliff are going to get better together this year. So, yeah, I think we got the pieces to make a move right now. Super Bowl move.
Rico.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like because the offensive line is so much better and the weapons even around Brian Robinson will be better. And to Ed's point, like Jaden Daniels in this Cliff Kingsbury offense, they're going to build on what they did last year. Instead of spending a lot of the offseason learning the offense, they're going to be spending pretty much the entire offseason building on the offense, especially from the quarterback standpoint. Mm-hmm. And so I just feel like, not that it was horrible last year, I just don't feel like it could be worse. I feel like with the offensive line and the weapons around Brian Robinson, with teams aren't going to be able to stack the box with all of the weapons that we have now. It's going to happen less often than it happened last year. And I think just naturally, even without JCM, Brian Robinson will have a more productive year this year. And then on top of that, I think JCM is going to be a huge part of the offense. Of course, it's going to happen later as we get further into the season, but I think he'll explode onto the scene and take a lot of pressure off of Brian Robinson. I think he'll be able to stay healthier because, at a certain point, if JCM is able to take over, he'll take less carries, there'll be less mileage on his body. And I just think overall the offense is going to be more explosive and everything.
Me personally, we have no choice but to be comfortable with B-Rob, and B-Rob is a fine complimentary back, but if he starts a full 17 games, which is hard for him, he could run for 1,000 yards. He can get us out of tight spots and short down situations, and early in the season, he's a demon on the goal line, so we don't have no choice but to be comfortable with him. Most franchise quarterbacks, there's always holes on their roster, but they'll still get it done. The roster's good enough with a franchise quarterback and a phenomenal play caller to contend right now. We contended last year, and it was not by accident. The team got better this year. There's obviously still some needs on the roster. I've seen Patrick Mahomes win multiple Super Bowls with talent-deficient rosters, but I wouldn't call the roster talent-deficient over here anymore. They've plugged a lot of the holes. We're going to get a tight end at some point. I think RB1 could possibly be shored up going forward into the 2026 season.
Mhm.
Edge, nobody expected 10.5 sacks out of Dante Fowler last year. Dietrich Wise and Jacob Martin and Jean Baptiste could end up getting that production, but also being better against the run. And we'll worry about middle linebacker when Bobby Wagner says, I'm out after a year from now. Place kicker Zane Gonzalez won us playoff games and was pretty nails in the playoffs for us last year. And we're adequate at safety. We lack depth right now and a true rangy playmaker, but we have enough on this roster to compete for this conference. We just can't go into games and turn the ball over 4 or 5 times expecting to beat a stacked team.
That's right. You guys pretty much nailed it. I was always comfortable with B-Rob as RB1. I was looking for a complimentary back. So I think we got that. And in the event that something happens to Eckler, even though that's not necessarily Bill's forte to catch it out of the backfield, Eckler is still a guy that can help. And I just think that eventually there will be a passing of the torch this year. If it's not, like Rio said, he'll be your starter in 2026. I think we can contend right now. Yeah, there's still pieces that we can add and get better and upgrade certain positions, but the window's open. That's why you go get a Laramie Tunsil. That's why you go get a Deebo Samuel, because the window effectively was opened up last year, and they saw how close we were, and you hope that you went out and got a couple of veterans that can push you over the top, right? So thank you for that. Mr. CB1274, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, I'm trusting the process. They could have drafted Otis from Martin. And we went from 4 wins to being one win from the Super Bowl. I'm sold. I feel you on that, bro. It really didn't matter what the hell they did. You were. I said the same thing. I said, I'm riding. Like, I don't know what they're going to do. I may not love all the selections, but guess what? I'm riding. You take me from 4-13 to, like Rico said, 14 wins and, 1 win away from the Super Bowl. I'm all in. You got me.
Ain't got me a quarterback, man. I'm good.
Yeah. Facts. Video channel, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Video channel writes, me in 2030 ordering at new RFK. Let me get a Louie teaser.
That's hard.
Louie teaser is
the name's better than the food.
Oh man. Hey, how come on now, Rico, man? You don't know the food might actually live up to the name, bro. Swaggy P, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Swaggy P writes, as a VTech fan who saw Jalen Lane score a touchdown live in person, Unger voice from the longest yard. He's so fast. He makes fast people look not fast.
He's so fast. He makes fast people look not fast.
Hey,
shout out to longest yard. That was
he is definitely fast. And, somebody had said to me earlier, like, he doesn't look like he's very explosive. I'm like, I don't know. We watching the same.
It's the number, bro. It's the number, bro. It's the 83. They can't see past the 83, man.
He make 83 look fast. He gave me flashbacks to like Sonoris, Moss.
Moss.
Right? Yeah. Like he looked fast in 83, bro. He looked slower in 25, if you ask me. That was awkward looking. That 25 was awkward. T. Roy, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, round 1, JCJ, 2, Trey, 3, Tunzel, 4, Jalen, 5, Samuel, 6, Kane, 7, Bill. Hell of a draft, in my opinion. Again, when you throw in the guys we traded for, how could you not love what we acquired, via the draft this year? And even if you take those picks or those trades out, it's still a hell of a draft. It's just compacted, right? You don't get the 7, 8 prospects, but you got, I think sometimes quantity in drafts, they cloud your judgment. I want quality every time. And I think we got high level quality in the 5 selections that we made.
It's like free agency is for quantity. I mean, you hope to get quality, but the free agency is to just make sure everything's smooth. We don't have any gaping holes. And then, yes, in the draft, you go purely for quantity. I mean, for quality, just to make, to elevate the ceiling of what we already have in different position groups.
And to your point, that's what they did the last 2 years in free agency. They threw a bunch of darts and they filled a bunch of holes. They were the equivalent of that truck that go out there with the gravel. You're like, man, you really ain't fixing that pothole, but you just making it easier to drive over it for like a month before that gravel rock come out of there again and that pothole come back. You just smoothing it out so that when we get to the draft, we not concerned with having to take this or having it. Like he kept saying, we could play a game if we had to tomorrow. That was always his line. Even with edge rusher, like it's not ideal, right? Jacob Martin is your, premier pass rusher is not, or Dorrance Armstrong is your two best pass rushers along with Frankie Louvu is not ideal. But if you had to, we could. Again, it's not ideal, but you could do it. And so I think they did a really good job of that this year. Like putting us in a position where we could draft tackle in the first round and feel good about it. Corner in the second round and feel really good about it. Skipped over that one. JLG, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, what is the plan for Connolly? Will we keep Wiley at right tackle and give Connolly a redshirt year, or is he the week 1 starter?
That better not be the case. I feel like that would be that would not be an ideal start for Connolly if he's not starting over Andrew Wiley in year 1.
Yeah, no, he's playing. They spent a first round pick on him for a reason. Like they're not redshirting a first round pick. I don't see that happening. But yeah, Wiley's going to be the swing tackle or the right guard until Sam Cosmi comes back for now.
It would be a hard sell for me to tell me you sweated it out for 20 picks in a row to redshirt him for Andrew Wiley. That would not add up to me.
Yeah, that would probably be a bad omen. But the only way something like that would occur is what happened last year with Coleman. They had every intent of starting him. Then he got injured, and then they had to do the platoon thing to kind of work him in and get him comfortable. Yep. That'd be the only way you don't see Josh Connolly Jr. starting in week 1, if you ask me. But if he's healthy, there's no way in my mind he's not out there week 1 as your starter. Slimy Mike, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, I truly believe DQ has a plan with the defense. Maybe more man, more simulated pressures could be scary. That's the hope. I want more simulated pressures. Where you don't actually bring it, but it feels like if they slide the line, now you got somebody coming from the other side, and it's still a 4-man rush, but it's how you coordinate it, and now you got a free hitter coming to the quarterback. I didn't feel like we had enough simulated pressures last year.
We did not.
And we saw some in the preseason, which got us excited. But to the point of why we had to run zone, we just didn't have the right manpower to run the defense that they wanted to. So all of the simulated pressures that they wanted to do and all of the man coverage we wanted to do, we just couldn't do it consistently, because then you had fans complaining about, why are we man covering these guys? Then he switches the zone, and then people are complaining about the zone. Yep. So, hopefully the better manpower and the talent that we have will allow them to do what they really want to do. And of course, let's take the ball away. I mean, I guess people forget that this was the defense with Dan Quinn and Joey Jr. that led the NFL in takeaways for 3 years in a row with the Cowboys.
Facts. And I'm hoping, like, I don't expect us to be that, but damn, can we force turnovers? Like,
can we just do it at all?
At all. Like,
yeah, like we talked about this earlier as far as playing more man. Trey Amos definitely can do that. He had 2 picks last year. I think he had 3 picks last year. Had 13 pass deflections. He had a bunch of pass deflections last year too. So he has a knack of getting around the football. And then I did want to talk about Quan Martin. He had shoulder surgery, I think, during the season or something like that.
Great point.
He started to force turnovers towards the end. He had the pick 6 on Jared Goff. So hopefully that continues into next season. But definitely more man. You have Trey Amos, Jonathan Jones, Mikey's back in the slot. You just have more depth. You just have better players now that can play man and just do more things than the guys that we had last year for sure. And then the pressures, you're gonna have to manufacture pressures with the guys that we got currently. And then same thing with Frankie, just send him on some blitzes like we did last year, where he ended up with 9.5, 10 sacks.
And I think that people don't realize if we could just find a way to turn other teams over, you don't want 5, but like as another team, you don't want 5 getting the ball even more. He's the most efficient quarterback in the league last year with the ball. You don't want to give him the ball even more.
Right.
If you give us extra possessions with the football, and don't you dare give us good field
And
position.
field position, exactly. I'm about to say,
my
and good field
God.
position.
It'll be over before it starts.
Yeah. I mean, you saw what happened in the Lions game. We scored 45 because they gave it to him 4 more times. And, you know, obviously one was a pick 6, but they gave him more opportunities and you saw what he did with it. So, you know, this offense, this team could be dangerous, even if the defense like isn't like we're not killing it on third downs and we're not as proficient. Even if we're not doing that, if we're creating turnovers, I think it makes us such a dangerous team.
And with the offense being way better, and I mean, they've dedicated a lot of our offseason capital to getting a bunch of run stoppers. And if we're playing with big leads, you know, teams are going to be in more obvious passing situations. We'll probably be able to rush the passer just better off of that. You know what I'm saying? Because we didn't even get a lot of chances to really rush the passer because it was like, why stop running the ball if y'all can't stop us? And then also on top of the fact that we're going to be potentially scoring 30, 40 points a game with our offense being even better than it was last year. So I think everything will just, you know, figure itself out naturally like that.
Yeah, that's what bailed us out last year from teams not running it down our throat was our offense kept scoring. And so you had to keep pace. And so teams would stop running the ball because you had to play catch up. And so you're hoping that you can continue to apply that pressure on teams and maybe put you in advantageous positions to rush the quarterback. And maybe we can just get there. We'll see. Zay Bradley, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, what's good, Kings? Number 1, how do y'all feel about the UDFA wide receiver Ja'Cory Brooks? Number 2, I'm high on JCM. How y'all feel about Lil Bill? He will take B-Rob's spot. How y'all feel about Ja'Cory Brooks, excuse me. Former Alabama wide receiver. Guy has tremendous size at 6'2". And I think he's like $195 or something like that. And his thing is not like somebody was like, he's slow as my grandma. And I'm like, he's not a speed guy.
Yeah,
right?
Everybody's not a speed guy.
Right. Like he's not a speed guy. He's a size guy. That's what his strength is. Had a breakout season this year at Louisville with Tyler Shuck. And again, you don't get to Alabama being garbage, right? You don't start your career out. This man was a top 35 recruit nationally when he came out of high school. He can play football. So I just think the same thing that got Xavier Restrepo got him. Hey, you can't run, I can't draft you, right? But that doesn't mean Xavier Restrepo can't play. That doesn't mean Ja'Cory Brooks can't play. He has a skill set that we could definitely utilize on his team.
Receiver. Possession, vertical threat type receiver.
And I mean, it's good for us that we have a quarterback that's accurate enough to get it to people like that. That even though he can't get wide open on his own, some quarterbacks require that. Jaden Daniels doesn't.
Yep.
I hope he comes out in hoops because I'd rather him take a roster spot than KJ Osborne, the friendly ghost. Like,
I was going to ask y'all, who's the odd man out if they keep 6? Because we went into this process with 6. They drafted a receiver, so that is clearly making the roster. I guess that's another question for another day. We can answer that. We got plenty of time to answer that.
That was between Gallup and KJ for
me. That's the 2 right there.
I'm like afraid to take a stance on Gallup because I need to see if he still can play football and wants to play football. So it's like I can't count him on the roster, him or Eddie Goldman.
Yeah. Nah, you're not wrong. You are not wrong. John Wick.
I'm gonna chime in on JCM.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Ja'Cory Brooks. Yeah, so he had the most receptions of 20+ yards last year with 17 at one point, and then he was the best at contested catches per PFF. So he's a dog, man. He had a 1,000-yard season, and then Bama he had 684 yards as well with Jalen Milroy as the quarterback. And then he played with Bryce Young, but no, he's a dog. I think he plays faster than 4.6. He's a really good contested catch guy. He had a couple of crazy like one-hand catches against Boston College too. So but yeah, he can play, man. He's a lot of people say he should have got drafted at least in the 7th round or 6th. A lot of people were saying that he was first team all ACC as well. So I mean, the guy can play, man. He can play, and he returned kicks and he returned a couple punts too. So we probably Jalen Lane is our guy, but just the fact that he can do that definitely helps his case for possibly making a roster.
I watched way too many Louisville games this year, and this dude will go and high point the football. He will go and get it. Like he with the ball in the air, he turns into a menace. And so we don't currently have a guy like that, by the way. Like not one of our receivers attacks the ball at its highest point and goes and gets it. Not a single one, right? Like Terry will go up and body catch that bitch, right? I'm talking about somebody going up, extending with their arms and plucking it out of the air. And Ja'Cory Brooks can do that. So he's a guy to be excited about. I'm not telling you he's taking anybody's roster spot, but I love the fact that they brought a guy that's going to come in here and compete. And even if he doesn't make the roster, he may be a guy that you could put on the practice squad, continue to work with, and then maybe next year, he might be ready to make an impact. Like I could see him, and he's not anywhere near as big, but I always kind of look at our roster in the same light as the 49ers, because that's where Adam Peters came obviously from. And he could be our what's the
Juwan Jennings.
Juwan Jennings, thank you. He could be our Juwan Jennings. Like
I'm with it.
I could see him being one of those type of dudes for us. So Jennings not the biggest guy. That's why he fell in the draft the year he came out of Tennessee, because he ran extremely slow. And look at what he's been in the NFL. So I wouldn't count Ja'Cory Brooks out at all. John Wick, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. John Wick writes, last year we wanted to tackle so bad. AP legit said he believes in Corn. I think he truly believes in his boy Kinlaw at edge. I'm going to keep trusting. We wanted to tackle. We got one, sort of, kind of, last year in Brandon Coleman. And look, for a guy that was a third-round pick, he held us down, right? We had to chip almost every play, but still he held us down. And he really believes in Kinlaw, clearly. Like, we'll see how that turns out. But whatever the case may be, I'm riding. Like I've said, and I think all of us kind of feel the same way. We ride him with AP and the decisions that he continues to make.
Take us to the promised land, AP.
Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. Mr. CB1274, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes? I called one of my coworkers, Little Bill. He was ready to fight.
I bet he was.
Hey, Little Bill looked like a crackhead too, so I could understand it, man. Wasn't the best looking little milk dead dud head baby.
Definitely had a little baby EB head.
Yeah, for sure. LA at Brooklyn. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for the spot.
My God.
Shout out to LA at Brooklyn, who writes, blessing Kings, likewise. Hope the families are good. Again, likewise, man. Really appreciate you. I'm so glad about the stadium news. Born in Brooklyn, born in Brooklyn, however, a Washington fan since youth. This clown show in New York, you got to go to another state to watch a football game live. Kick rocks, laughing my ass off, HTTC. I get it, man. It's so good and refreshing to have this news. And I can't wait for the day where we have a stadium where it's ours and we hold it down. And now this ain't like our ticket is the one where everybody who's got a team coming in town knows they going to the game.
Hell yeah.
Like they coming to the Commanders game. They making a plan. I can't wait till we get to the point where, hey, good luck trying to get a ticket to the Commanders game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Oh, you ain't get your tickets yet? Oh, you might be short.
Yeah, you out back. So I think we getting close to that point. Anybody wanted to add anything to that?
The whole New York thing, you got to go to another state to watch because they black out the games or something like that. If that's the case, that's crazy. But yeah, that's it. And then Braun, speaking of Braun, yeah, he's almost up out of there tomorrow night. So we'll see what happens.
I think you were saying born in Brooklyn. But yeah. Ed had to get that LeBron shot in though.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, shout out East Flatbush, man. Shout out to man.
Hey, finish those boys off, man. Finish them boys off. John Wick, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. have to mention Kank Madrano about to legit compete for Chin's missing position now. Will be a hybrid linebacker for us off the bat, I think. I mean, they're really high on this guy. And, the assumption is, oh, he's a special teams linebacker. Maybe not. Maybe not. We'll see how he jumps in there and competes. It could be some snaps for him on defense. There could be a package in there for defense where they get him out there, especially if he shows the ability to cover in space in camp. Could be a little something when we play in a team. I remember almost vomiting all over myself watching the first possession of the Saints game and seeing Michael Walker chasing Alvin Kamara up the seam and thinking, this can't be life. So if you got a guy that can potentially cover guys like Alvin Kamara out of the backfield, there could be a definitely a role for Kane Madrano on this roster sooner than we think.
For sure.
Chris, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Chris writes, you know who else said you got a good one on his draft call? Was a guy named Terry McLaurin. Just saying, he did say that. I do remember that very vividly. And Terry was in the third. I'm about to say he also was, but no, Terry was a third round pick. John Wick, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. John Wick writes, Kings, who's stopping Tunzel, Connolly, Coleman, and Bates running out to the side with these 300-pound boys trucking linebackers 10 yards down the field, junior hogs? And to Rico's point, Connolly moves so fluidly and well out in space. They pulled him a lot at Oregon, and it's just so smooth. And he gets out there and he's gliding, man. You could tell he used to play running back. Like it's natural. It's natural for him.
Yeah, he just put up a video where he's like on the ground and he gets up.
That's a challenge now, right? They call it the Connolly challenge.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know that. People were telling me to do it.
Yeah, hey, that shit hard as a bitch. I don't know if y'all seen it, but
it is hard.
Yeah, and I seen one dude, one of our fans, trying to do it.
Deuce.
Yeah.
Deuce.
He cheated his ass off when he did that shit. He jumped up.
Wait, no, I haven't seen it. I gotta see that.
Yeah, you gotta like pop up and do kicks, then kick drops.
Kick slide. Pop up and do a kick slide, but he did it from like, I want to say his knees. He just popped up, and it was funny because he popped up from his knee to like 1 foot on the ground and then jumped up and then did the kick slide. It was funny, but that shit hard as hell to do, man. Like that just shows you how athletically gifted he is.
He's a freak.
Davon Cash, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you for the 20 spot. Davon, who writes, "What's good, Kings? What's up, Davon? Gonna have to watch the play back. Got things to do. So all I can say is keep up the great work in Peters. We trust. We appreciate you, man. The playback will definitely be here for you to consume. Shout out to the over 1,000 of y'all out there once again holding us down as we are past the 2-hour mark. Make sure y'all hit the like button if you haven't already done so, and hit the subscribe button. Turn on the notification bell as well. Chris Hunter, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Amos' body control is what sticks out on his tape. He can run stride for stride, pass deflect, hit stick, and contest catches without leaving his feet. Looks easy. I love the fact that he finds the football too. Like a lot of dudes do not find the ball. He does find the football. That's how he's got so many PBUs and interceptions, because he's locating the football. So he just seems so under control, like you said, like with his body movements. And he does look like a very fluid mover out there. It just looks easy to him, man. I was so impressed with him throughout the process. Shocked that he was there at 61, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Amos is easily my favorite pick of the class.
Yeah, he was definitely a surprise at 61. You know, when we got there, I was shocked that he was still there.
Because I would have been cool with him at 29.
Yeah, and they said that, like, he was one of the options that they were considering at 29. Miggy, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Miggy writes, "Sup, Kings? Sup, Miggy? With Madrano's ability to cover, I can see a NASCAR 4-3 like package blitzing of him off the edge, and if you got to audible out, he can fall back." Y'all thoughts on that?
Hey, getting that speed on the field somehow, finding a way to, you got to, because you can tell Adam Peters when he came in and gave that pregnant pause about the state of the roster, he looked at our team's speed and was probably like, yuck, when he seen the roster the first time, man. He said, we're not drafting anything but fast players on this football team.
Bro, that pause was, he said 1,000 words without saying anything. I mean, we all knew what he was trying to say when that pause happened. And you've seen the overhaul of the roster, bro. Like, he got rid of all the Ron stuff immediately.
I just know he had to, during that private workout with Xavier Restrepo, he just had to see it for himself. He had to see it for himself. How slow is this guy really? Because he ain't gonna be on our team, but I really want to see. Are you really undersized running 4.8?
What? That was wild, bro.
Sight to behold for Adam Peters.
Yo. Shout out to Xavier Restrepo, man. Shout out to him.
Shout out to him.
John Wick. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate it.
They got him out there with Cam Ward, right?
Yeah. They went and teamed him up with his boy.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Shout out to Xavier
cool.
Restrepo, man.
That's cool.
John Wick. Diddy concert at the new stadium.
Oh no. Oh no.
You gonna get it shut down before it's even built.
Hey, come on now.
It's gonna be Johnson & Johnson's baby oil night at the stadium.
In the stadium. I was about to say something flagrant, but I caught myself. I passed that rock back to Rio, man. I don't want no parts of that. Greg, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, sup, y'all? Sup, Greg? This is a hypothetical. Any other stadium locations of interest just in case the council members sell us and don't vote?
Nope.
So it would, I mean, the only other place would be to go back to Maryland.
It's DC or nothing, man.
Yeah. At this point, it's happening, bro. But
it's definitely happening. Yeah. They just gotta smooth it over with the last few people, man.
Money talks, man. They'll get it done. Trust me. Yeah. Dudes out here talking about not wanting it and shit. They just want they palms greased. That's all.
And some of these people have main character syndrome. They want to be that person. Look at me standing against the bill. Stupid stadium. I don't stand for this stadium. Yeah. All right.
Come on, man. Stop it.
Yeah, we'll see you on ribbon cutting night, my boy.
Exactly. You be right there, right up front. Smiling like this. Rock out. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, let's build Hogs 3.0. I just want to put together, you call them whatever the hell you want. Yep. I just want to put together a wall in front of Jaden.
Protect our investment.
I don't think we're gonna act like the Hogs were road graders in the run game. I don't think our line that we've assembled is that. Especially the two tackles. Neither one of the strengths of their game is necessarily run blocking. That's cool. Just get in the way. Right, just get in the way. But blocking for Jaden is the most important thing because he's the catalyst for all of this.
Yep.
Icy Wayne, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Icy Wayne writes, don't forget they're renovating Capital One too.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
I didn't know that.
A lot of stuff happening in the city.
Yeah, he got that done because he was trying to move them to Virginia. And then he got the money to renovate Capital One. So
that's right. That's right. Because
he used Virginia as a bargaining tool.
Yeah, they were just a pawn in the scheme.
Yeah.
Okay. Beloved Rain 44. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Beloved Rain writes, I have a question for y'all. I got from Lake's channel. Which would you rather have in a 10-year span? 2 guaranteed Super Bowls or 6 years of guaranteed playoff appearances, but the outcome is unknown. That shit's easy, bro.
Super Bowls.
Easy. Give me them Super Bowls, man.
You could get bounced in the divisional round all 6 years on some Buffalo Bills shit and never win a chip. Give me the 2 Super Bowls. That's Eli Manning right there. I think Eli Manning made the playoffs like 3 times in like 12 years, but he went to the Super Bowl twice and won that Jay. Won that
well, in a 10-year span, one of the Super Bowls could be at the new stadium.
Woo!
And
think about that.
Let that host that thing.
Yeah, let that sink in.
Right. It's something that I've never witnessed before, haven't been alive to see too. So and just a parade, like just hearing about the
I
parades and
cannot
stuff,
wait for that, bro. I cannot
being a part of
wait
a
for that.
parade is just insane.
It would be so crazy out there, man.
And then the Super Bowl gear and all that, like I would definitely get a jacket, a hat,
Oh,
hoodie.
hey, Ed is hoarding all the dad hats, man. Every one of them joints on Fanatics.
Every color.
Your team has won the Commanders fans. Your team just won the Super Bowl. And Ed's like, yep, give me one of those.
I don't even know if they sell the DVD anymore. I'm buying it. I'm buying it.
my boy, hat too flat over there, boy.
J-Mod6. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Right. So what up, Kings? What up, J-Mod? Which primetime game are you guys most excited for? Personally, I want to see JD5 pick apart that Denver defense and destroy Bo Nix. You think that one gets a primetime nod, y'all?
I think so.
What about, if not prime, at least a 4?
Yeah, I think that's a CBS 425.
CBS game of the week.
Yeah, that's what that strikes me as. I don't think they ready to give Bo Nix and Jaden a prime time.
I mean, they throw Bo Nix on Monday Night Football a couple times. Why not put it versus Jaden, man? That would be fire, man. That defense is a problem, but I trust 5 versus anybody, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Broncos defense a problem, Jaden a solution.
Facts. It's so many like prime timeable games on the schedule this year, bro. Lions and Chiefs, Chargers and Eagles and Cowboys and Bears, and I could keep going. I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see like how they divvy these joints up. It's gonna be nice. Bart Scott, can't wait. John Wick. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, man, F everyone besides the Skins. We the best team in the NFL. Raise hell. I feel you, bro. But the Eagles in our division did win the Super Bowl. So, but F them too, man. I feel you, bro. F them and they fans. I know it's some in the comment section right now, too. Greg, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, any free agents you like? I F's with Blackman from Indy. He was interesting when free agency first hit, but I don't think they're going to go that route. But again, I'm still with Ed on edge, and my guy has been, and Rio said this last year. He would have traded for him last year. I think that's the one guy that you could get this year is Zadarius Smith that would make me feel good. Like I think Vaughn is washed. I think he's cooked at this point. But
my guy, different position, Justin Simmons, man.
Yeah, that's an interesting name.
Justin Simmons at age 32 is at the ring chasing portion of his career, and he done already talked up our organization, us in Philly, in some interview this offseason. I gotta find that so I can run that back when I do a free agents we should pick up type video. I would love to have a rangy free safety type that could turn the ball over, added to our safety room.
And him and AP go way back. AP was the one that was given credit for even drafting him to the Denver Broncos. That was like his guy.
Hey, bring him.
Anybody else stick out for y'all?
Yeah, you guys covered. I mean, yeah, we talked about Zadarius on the draft stream, Von Miller. If all else fails, like he's like a break glass option, and right before training camp, if he's still available. Yeah, Justin Simmons, and that's really it. I mean, thank goodness we don't need corner anymore because, last year I was talking about guys like Stephon Gilmore and for guys like that, but we're in a different space at the cornerback spot. So that's good. And I know people have brought up J.K. Dobbins, but no, we're good at running back. So
yeah, they keep bringing him up.
Yeah, we're really fine with free agents so far. I guess free agent kickers, and that's really it.
Y'all heard that speaking of Stephon Gilmore, you heard he was out like loitering around the Cowboys facility?
That sounds crazy. For what?
Like, what are you doing, bro? Everybody just assumed he was signed. I'm like, what are you doing? Maybe they're gonna sign him eventually. I don't know. That was wild though. He was just hanging out. Like, you good, bro? Like this OTA is for players only. What are you doing here? DMV Bay. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. who writes, hope they engineer the new stadium to rock and shake like it did back in the 80s.
I wouldn't count on that.
I wouldn't either. But
with the like ingenuity and advancement of technology, I don't know if you want a stadium with a glass roof and stuff shaking and all that stuff.
I don't know if that's a great idea, but
I say the nostalgic.
Yeah, that's a nostalgia thing. Like I said, we'll create a new tradition there, right? We'll figure something out to make it our own.
Dope.
We'll do the beer snake there.
John Week, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, we banking a lot on if Lattimore is returning to form. I mean, that's all we got, right? We gave up picks for him. It's too late to turn back now. A full offseason healthy. And the thing that I'm encouraged by is this strength and conditioning staff that we have now. Hey, they A1, man.
Yep.
A lot of dudes stayed healthy last year. A lot of guys played well through injuries. And the way they take care of players, like they gave Cleveland Farrell basically Wednesday and Thursday off. Like they gave veterans the Wednesdays off to keep them fresh and preserved. I think they're going to find a way to get Lattimore where he needs to be and have him in a position to really help us, man. I really expect Lattimore to be back to his form. What says you guys?
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see him get a full offseason OTAs and minicamp with Joe Jr. and the guys. So I'm excited to see him come back. And like I said, there's going to be less pressure on him too, because we just have a better room where it was just like you have to follow Mike Evans, you have to follow AJ, because we didn't want to put other guys on AJ like Ben St. Juste and some other guys. Mikey held it down though when he had to guard AJ and Devontae Smith, but now it's like, hey, you can just pass guys off to Trey or to Jonathan Jones or to Mikey. Like there's gonna be less pressure on Lattimore having to shut somebody down. But yeah, I think a full offseason is going to be huge because he was hurt when we got him, and then he sat out games, and then he had to miss a game and then come back. So he just wasn't 100% at all the whole time we had him last year.
I'm excited to see single-digit college number and back in number 2, Marshawn Lattimore, full off season, both hamstrings intact, neither falling off the bone, and a full spring, summer workout session just to be around the guys and ingrained in the system. Back to form, just look like Marshawn Lattimore again, man. Just be the guy we know you are. You're not that guy that gave up that 4th down in the NFC Championship. I don't know who he was, but that's not you.
Yeah, I think a lot of people I really think people underestimate like how hurt he was too. Even in games that he played, he just wasn't at full power, and that matters so much, especially for corner, man. With his ability to keep up with the receivers, change directions, and things like that, I think he'll look like a completely different guy this year.
Facts, I do as well. Tony P56, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. I see what you're doing here, Tony. Come on, man. Like, the disrespect is real right now, bro. Josh Harris said, what?
Drop that thing on a new stadium. That's hilarious.
Oh, man. I can't, man.
That's hilarious.
I'm not with you, man. I'm not doing that with you today, man. Joe Rockhead, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, peace, Canes. What up, Joe? Lou, I know you don't think much of third-day picks, but AP raises the expectations. I'm not. You know how, well, anything 5th round, after the 5th round, like 6th and 7th round, usually I'm like, yo, you can keep those. But I've been impressed the last couple of years with what he's done on day 3 in particular. I still am a big fan of Jordan McGee. I think he's going to really show out this year. I still have hopes for Dominique Hampton turning into something. And again, I didn't think Javonte John Baptiste was going to do a damn thing. And he was a lot better than what I gave him credit for last year. So obviously the 7th round pick this year might be the best 7th round pick I've ever seen in my life as a fan of this team. So we'll see what Kane Madrano ends up being, but I got high hopes. I'm probably putting too much damn pressure on Bill right now. because I'm expecting him to be a dog.
Yep.
Period. So AP definitely raises the value there. Any thoughts about the day 3 picks for the Commanders over the first 2 years of Adam Peters' tenure?
I mean, I just agree that they trust their scouts. I trust their scouts. Like they just have an eye for talent, and just the way that we're building the team, similar to like why the Patriots were so great for so long, is that when you make sure you have so much talent across the board, when you bring in additional guys, you don't have to be decent at everything, a jack of all trades. Be really good to elite at a couple of things, and we're only going to ask you within the scheme to do those couple of things very well. And that's literally why the Patriots are so dominant for so long.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Thanks.
I agree.
Mr. Ron B, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Mr. Ron B, OG triple OG, writes, what up, Kings? What's up, Mr. Ron B? Imagine the roar of the crowd trapped and intensified by the stadium roof, crashing back onto the field, a huge home field advantage.
Yes, sir.
Just gonna reverberate in there, man. It's gonna be lit, man. That first home opener, it's gonna cost you an arm and a leg and a child, but it's a must.
I'm in the building, bro.
Bucket list type.
Yeah.
You know, if Lou pulling up, it's something you can't miss
I'm
once
flying.
in a lifetime.
I'm in the
flying to
building
that one.
for sure.
Yeah,
and that joint, I'm definitely there.
Hey, I'll pay him for my ticket to that jump.
Yeah, you ain't never lie.
Hey man, save $1 a day from here to the stadium. You'll be there. You'll be there,
bruh. Imagine wherever the parties or the tailgate places happen. Imagine Commanders Kings live from the first ever game in blank
Talk about
dome.
it.
Let's do it.
My God, man.
Well, I saw we were having this conversation today. It's gonna be called RFK, whatever it is.
Something at RFK Stadium.
Right? Yeah, without question. Because to me, I liken it to like Mile High. Like it's like Invesco. It's like Invesco QQQ at Mile High
Stadium. Okay, so
High,
we can still work with that. Yep.
Campbell's at RFK.
Yeah, it's gonna be something. Like they keep saying
FanDuel Sportsbook at FanDuel Sportsbook Stadium at RFK.
Yeah,
you know,
and we just gonna call that bitch RFK. Hey, y'all going to RFK today?
Yeah, I see all up RFK.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But there will be a brand sponsor.
Oh yeah, without question.
Skrilla matters. You know.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna bust somebody over their head.
The United Arab Emirates thing we got going on might be one of them.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah.
Emirates Stadium.
Yep. Mike D, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Mike D writes, peace, Kings. What up, Mike? Thanks to Rico for the deep stats and putting me on the Rio. Peace to Rio for the best Hail Mary reaction and modeling, the modeling gig. My question is, how many points do you see us averaging this season?
33.
31. Whatever. Hold on. I want y'all to know that whatever goddamn number Ed picks is going to be correct. Whatever this dude is he's a walking calculator, and whatever he says, you better put some respect on it.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna put some money with it.
Well, I'm cheating here. We averaged 28 last year.
Yeah.
Detroit averaged 33, and we're gonna score a bunch of points again. So I'll probably say around like 29. Philly averaged 29, Tampa averaged 29, Baltimore averaged 30. So I'll go with about 29.
So that's the correct answer, y'all.
Yeah. I thought Ed was about to get specific. Like we'll average 29.7 points a game next season.
I wouldn't have put it past him.
There should be an over-under on it. I would definitely take the over if it's like 28.
I'm gonna say 30, like 29.8. And so you round it up to 30 points a game. We're gonna be right there hovering around 30 a game, I think, again.
Never would have thought 2 years ago.
Man, Rico out here 31 and 30. Yeah, boy, we average 31 points a game. We're gonna be going crazy on Sunday.
Bro, we winning 14 games or more. We averaging 30. Rico said 33, right?
Yeah,
we averaging 33
with no reference.
No
reference.
We put a 40 on the Browns, right? We beat them 42-42.
Yep, and sat JD early fourth quarter.
40 on the Cardinals, and then 33-28 against the Eagles. So we had a couple of 30. 30 burgers pretty easily.
We scored 45 in a divisional round of the playoffs
Yeah.
on the road
Bro.
versus the 1 seed.
Bro. Wild stuff.
Crazy.
You B-Rob confusion on 4th down from probably putting a 50 spot on the head.
Yep.
Bro.
Yep.
And if it wasn't for the 2 stinkers, well, I won't even call them stinkers, just the 2 growing pain games where Seibert hit 7 field goals. And then where we were just getting our feet wet in the Tampa game where Cliff said he had his worst game, and then that was Jaden's first game in the NFL. You take those 2 games out, we probably would have averaged 30.
Yep.
Over 30.
Yeah.
Easy.
It was last year was remarkable, bro. It was funny. Did y'all hear so JP Finley had like a little interview with Josh Harris, and he asked him, how did this announcement compare to when he announced that he was buying a team in Minneapolis? And he said it was very comparable, and he threw in 2 more moments: the Hail Mary last year and the divisional round win over Detroit as the 4 biggest moments so far of his tenure as owner. It's funny because I don't know what was the biggest win for y'all last year, but for me, it's not even close. It was the Detroit win.
That Detroit game was different, bro. That was like that was the best night of my fan life, bro.
Yeah, like
literally.
I watched that game with my son. That was the first time my son actually sat down and watched the game with me, the whole game. He was live that whole night, and we went bananas, bro.
My son had a house full of people who don't watch football screaming for this team. That's how lit he got people into Jaden, bro.
That's crazy, bro. That's wild, man.
Yeah, y'all know I need that Falcons game every year, but that Detroit Lions game was definitely the best I felt as a fan. I agree with Rio.
You were going to the Super Bowl after that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I couldn't sleep, man. I was up like I couldn't sleep, bro. I was up like,
bro, I was prepared to drop a lot of funds on Super Bowl gear, bro. I put money aside. I was ready.
Bro, you had already talked about the patches and shit that was gonna be on the jersey. Rio was ready. You was like, yo, a JD5 jersey with a Super Bowl patch on it, bro. He's like, I'm ready.
I'm ready
to risk it all.
I was hurt that we didn't get to see Jaden in that fly-ass Super Bowl tracksuit next to Mahomes and all the pressers. Next year, man. Next year.
Yeah. Them shits is dope too. You ain't lying.
Fly as hell.
It's dope, bro.
They go so crazy.
Right. Oh, them shits is clean, bro. Joe Rockhead, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My God, Joe. Double up. Right. Gilmore got handprints and tears on the door.
Oh no.
He got the open work on his profile picture.
Oh, it's me, baby. It's me.
Hey, big head. Hey, big head.
Mickey, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Is Mikey quarterback 2, slot 1 with Amos is cornerback 3, or is Amos cornerback 2?
The last one, Amos is cornerback 2, and Mikey is going to his home, his natural home of the slot, where he can blitz, attack, and cover everything inside the numbers, man.
I just don't think he's coming off the field. No matter what.
Oh, yeah, he's not.
But I mean, because a lot of people feel like, and this is not even just coming from Commanders fans or whatever, it's like general draft consensus that Amos had arguably the highest ceiling out of all corners in this class. And then with the athleticism, he also has a ceiling to get even better. And so I wouldn't be surprised if he's ready week 1 to start outside and already covering really good receivers in the NFL.
Yeah. And this wasn't a great cornerback class. So I wouldn't be shocked by some pundits saying that, because you think about this class and you look at like I said, I had him 5th in terms of corners, but you think about the guys like Will Johnson. When did he go? Didn't he go in the 50s somewhere?
Yeah, he went almost. He almost didn't get out. He almost got out the second round.
Yeah, I mean, he was right there. Right. And you question his speed. Like, he's got tremendous ball skills, but also the knee or whatever. You got Travis Hunter, cool, right? you got not two nickels, but you got Jadae Barron, who's
Jadae
probably
Barron.
a nickel,
Mhm.
and then you got Maxwell Hairston. Like those are the only 4 guys in front of him, and I would prefer him over Maxwell Hairston, to be honest with you.
Mhm. Amos feels the most
I
like
agree.
NFL cornerbacky with like body, the way his style of play, and physical tools. You know,
Versatility too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Zone coverage, man coverage, press man, off, all of that.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
Joe Rockhead, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Joe Rockhead writes 30 points a game. We're gonna be 40 Burger King. I mean, how many times did we put up 40 burgers last year? Like at least 3 or 4.
It was
Yeah.
like
Cardinals, Browns.
The Browns, we didn't score 40 in that game.
it was like 34, right?
34. Yeah,
Okay.
34.
Again, we took the foot off the pedal.
Yep.
Yeah,
Took
we
game out.
pulled Jaden with a quarter to
A
spare.
whole quarter. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Panthers game, Lions game, Cardinals game. God, we was
Yeah,
40.
What was that Titans game? I know the Titans game.
Yep,
Oh yeah,
that was another
yeah.
one. Yep,
Oh
that was
my
another
God!
one.
So we did it 4 times.
I told you it was like 4 times. 4 times, yeah.
We
I mean,
left it. We
and
had
the
it
Bengals
Mhm.
knocking on the door, right?
38.
38. So
Right
like,
there. Yep.
I mean, we was on fire, bro. Like that stretch of Cincinnati, and even to a lesser degree the Giants game, but we didn't score touchdowns, but we didn't punt in that game. That stretch, I've never seen anything like it before in my life.
Yeah, it was amazing.
No punts.
Yeah,
From
I've
that
never seen
that
off like
Giants game all the way to that
Cleveland game.
that Cleveland game. Really,
I think we punted like once or something.
He threw that interception. He threw an interception, his first career interception in the Arizona game.
Yep.
That stopped the
red
streak.
zone.
Yeah,
Yep.
that stopped the streak. And then he had the bad interception against the Browns. Like Rio said, it was his worst throw of the season. Like
Yeah,
worst
and it was-
decision.
And it happened because Terry couldn't high step on the play before.
Yeah, exactly. I ain't forgave him for that yet,
Yeah,
bro.
that was like Jaden's like cleanest escape from the pocket throw on the run the whole season. And Terry want to get shoelace tackled at the 3-yard line, and then Jaden throws the like his whole body was out of whack after that. He didn't score. Oh, what? I'm gonna throw this pick right quick.
That was nasty. But golly,
Hey,
last year was fun.
Before we close this one out, I got one for the room, man.
Yep.
And it is completely non-football related.
Uh-oh.
I need to hear everybody's take on the one gorilla versus 100 men conversation that is taking over the world right now. Can 100 men beat a gorilla in a fight? No weapons.
I don't think so.
Who are the 100 men?
100 regular men.
No,
a gorilla. Can the strength in numbers? Is it enough to take down the gorilla?
They said they would put Isaiah Stewart out there, Draymond Green, Randy Orton, and then I forgot who else. Oh, the Florida defensive tackle who's like
one normal gorilla. Like we're not talking King Kong. We're talking like one run-of-the-mill standard grown gorilla. I still think that's an L for us.
You know what I'm saying? Unless you're putting together an all-star cast.
It's gotta be some.
No, what damage are we doing?
These dudes have like super serum soldier strength. Like what are we doing?
What damage are we doing?
Take out groups of you at one. Like I don't understand the argument for. I keep seeing people are putting together pie charts and graphs of how men, if they attack in these certain numbers and stuff. Dog, the gorilla don't fatigue like we do.
Yeah,
literally don't.
That shit made its way to ESPN. That conversation.
It really did.
Yes, it was on NFL Live.
Oh my God,
it is everywhere.
That's wild, bro. How much does a gorilla weigh? Like a regular gorilla weigh? Like, does anybody know?
Oh no, but I've seen a gorilla with shaved and like what it looks like, how much muscle it has.
It's like a walking muscle.
A men don't want no problems with that, bro. We can't handle that, bro. Like he's tearing people, like he's probably ripping people in half as they're pulling up on him, bro. He's just tossing dudes out the way. But 100 is a lot of people, though.
Yeah, I mean, and you would have to attack him on some non-movie shit. You know how movies, it'd be like 8 dudes and they'll stand in line and wait like till this dude get punched in the face and then you kick this. Like we got to get on them together now, and we got to find like a pressure point. There got to be something that's gonna break this dude down. And
This has to be coordinated. Like
Nah,
we practice, we rehearse.
with no weapons. I don't think 100 of the toughest men are beating a gorilla. A gorilla is ridiculously sized and strong, bro. Like hell no.
I want does a eye poke work on a gorilla? Like it's got to be some way to
How
break.
you getting your hand in their eye?
Well, it's 100 dudes, so if you got
somebody got to
distracting him, you bop, you hit him in his eye, and then if his eyes work like ours, he gonna be like, God damn.
People are selfish and people don't work together. There's no way 100 men are gonna cohesively work together to take it down. Once you see the damage that the first couple groups get done to them, half of them are leaving, bro.
Hey.
Like they're not trying, bro.
Yeah. What was the movie where I don't know, I guess it turns into sort of to like a Luke Cage situation where the first 4 dudes think they gonna do something to Luke Cage, they shoot them and whatnot, and then the last dude just realized, hey bro, you got it. Like
it's like a John Wick type stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
facts.
My mom said something about this is somebody's list with 3 people from Baltimore, 30 Samoans, 12 people from Chicago.
3 hitters from Baltimore.
Hey. 5 people from New Orleans, the 2004 Detroit Pistons, Draymond, like Ed said.
Ben Wallace is doing work.
Rasheed Wallace.
Facts.
Ron Artest got to go out there too.
And 20 Florida man too. The baby Solange, 1997 Mike Tyson, 2008 LeBron.
Hey, the baby is wild because unless he got a weapon, he ain't.
I'll say I don't know where that's coming from without that weapon.
Yeah.
Same thing for Chicago. Same thing for the Chicago. I don't see that without the weapon.
Yeah.
I'm watching this game. Throw Dylan Brooks in the mix too because he wants to fight everybody. So throw him in the mix.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Dylan ain't met somebody he ain't want to fight yet. So yeah, throw him in the mix. I don't know, man. You might be right, Rio, man.
We're not beating them, bro. Like we don't stand a chance, bro. We'll look up a gorilla without the hair and look at that species, bro. Who is running the fade with him, bro?
Hey, I just think about the what's the 8 movie's name?
Planet 8.
Planet 8. So I'm like, ain't no way, bro. You get one of them.
Yeah, and it's not even just strength. I don't think people understand how like fast there are too. Like we're just inferior in every way except for intelligence and weapons. If you take away the weapons, we don't have nothing on them.
And they're smart animals too.
Very.
They're not.
They would adapt as soon as they would download and program us as soon as we come up with a cohesive plan. Oh, okay, I see what they're doing now. All right, bet. Watch this. Watch this. Hit them with the hey. Watch this.
Watch this.
You would get so cooked by a gorilla.
Yo, that's wild, man. Who comes up with this shit? That had to be somebody high out of their mind.
Oh, for sure,
bro. You think 100 people could take a gorilla, bro?
You know how funny it is that the whole world they got everybody chiming in on this. It's a news topic. It's made ESPN. It's everywhere. I seen somebody was like tomorrow on my show, and they had a whole like dry erase board of a game plan of how we could do it. I was like, oh my God, they're really taking this conversation to new heights.
This is literally a party chat conversation. These are literally the type of things that like my party chat talks about at 4 a.m. So I was surprised this went viral because this is like a normal everyday conversation for my friends. So it was so random to see everybody take part in it like this.
Gorilla got a 100 relative athletic score, bro. Ain't nobody running that fade with him.
You got a 10. Oh man.
We got some more supers.
Yeah. Juan Gotti talking sports.
Guy.
What up, Juan?
Salute, my boy.
Says, sup, Kings. Rio, you look good, bro. Keep it up.
Too, brother. You in that gym, man. I'm locked in. You inspiring, Juan Gotti. I see you.
Yes,
Trey
sir.
Amos is meant for the NFC East. And the Euclid linebacker is so grateful for us drafting him. I think he's nice. I'm excited, man. Guys are, yeah, for sure, man. Like Trey Amos is definitely made for the NFC East. I agree.
Sure. Oh yeah.
Steez, Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Boys about to pull up the Bollywood ass moves. Hey, go ahead, man. It's still getting mollywop. Ricky D, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, what's y'all take on Shador? I want to see them interview tapes. Who's with me? LOL. I mean, we had talked about it on day 2 when Dylan Gabriel got drafted by the Browns. We lost it on the stream, bro. So you kind of know where we where we stand on Shador. Like, it's people out there that's like, there's no way that it was collusion. I just think that the league said, "Oh, okay, we're gonna show him, bro." Like, you know, there's a certain decorum that you have to have, and he didn't have it. And you know what's cool is that Shador, I thought he was gonna be more like pissed off. He was just happy to get drafted, bro.
Did y'all read some report that was like he pulled up full entourage for a team meeting? He had headphones sitting on, like over the head headphones sitting on his neck with the music playing. They said he was answering questions sarcastically, like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And he was like the mayor of the city. And I don't know if it was true, but that shit sounded crazy.
No way he did that.
I was like, that's Deion Sanders' son. As arrogant as he is, there's respect. And Deion would not allow any shit like
exactly.
So,
that's why I said
was
that's
like,
just crazy, bro.
That was, I knew it started to sound like cap and like a personal attack because it ended with, I mean, his father wears sunglasses on the sideline and does dance moves at his big age. And I was like, oh, okay, this is personal. This is personal.
Yeah.
This is not about.
There's no way he went into no interview. Now, I'm not telling you he didn't bomb some of these interviews, but not to that extent, bro.
I think Dable that might have happened, but I can see Dable just being a prick and trying to get under the skin and stuff like that. Because Dable, you know, he was drilling Jaden, but you could tell Dable like Jaden. But Dable is a guy that definitely tries to get at people.
Yeah, for sure. I can see that one going the way exactly like that.
The Giants exceeded the black QB limit for their roster, though. Like Mara said, enough. That's enough.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Facts. Like, okay. Can't have all of these black guys out here at quarterback.
Listen, man, Tommy DeVito needs some company over here, guy.
We got to keep it 50-50 here. It was crazy. They was dancing to church music when he got drafted, bro. Like,
I loved it.
I loved it. It was damn near praise dancing. I was like, I'm so done. I'm so done with them, man. They are hilarious, bro.
They were streaming the whole time. He jumped into the pool.
Streamed it all on Twitch too.
And then they went to the club, of course, and partied. And he was like taking pictures with Young Miami and stuff like that. So, but yeah, he had a good time.
Good for him, man. I hope he kills it in Cleveland. Mike D, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, anyone glad the Giants didn't take Shador?
I would have been fine either way, honestly. It wouldn't have fazed me.
Either way, man. Please start Jackson Dart some games this year and see how that turned out for y'all.
Please.
Yeah. Nah, I wasn't tripping. Like, I wasn't tripping either way.
It wouldn't have fazed me either way. They
none of these
80-12 now. So
none of these. You hear that bullshit? By the way, JD12.
JD12 is Salvation Army. JD.
Yeah, team.
Like, what are we doing here, bro? None of them quarterbacks scared me. Did you see that Cam Ward got the one jersey from
Warren Moon hand delivered it to him, was like, I'm honored to give it to. That's fire. That's cool.
It was dope, but I'm on that LT shit. Like,
yeah.
Nah, bro. And I guess, first of all, LT an asshole, which I love. And second of all, I guess it's easier to do that when, like, quarterback is different. I think quarterbacks, you feel like, man, let me let the young fella have it. I ain't even gonna trip. When you're a defensive player, you can just be like, nah, you good, bro. You be all right. Get a different number. Stephen Banks, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, a gorilla without hair, he got muscle in his head. I've never seen a gorilla
like Jeremy
without
Chin.
hair.
When you Google it, you're gonna be like, "Whoa, what am I looking at, bro?" It definitely got the chin head, bro. There's a muscle everywhere on a gorilla, bro.
Hey.
That's what I'm saying. We don't have a chance. Google it and watch what happens.
He probably a headbutt somebody and split their shit, slam open. Pop!
It's too many options.
Yeah, it's too many options, bro. You probably right, man. That was it. I was about to say, how the hell did we get here? But Rio came out of nowhere.
That was Rio.
Yeah, like I'm known for going off topic and just talking about random shit. I'm like, how the hell? I didn't do that one. How did we get here? That was Rio. So, anything y'all want to add about the day that was, the weekend that was, before we get out of here?
I have nothing. I think anyone that has anything negative to say about anything that's going on in the building, you are severely suffering from PTSD and trauma from the past. It is all good vibrations here, and the needle is pointing so sky high for this organization. And if you don't see it, man, I don't know what to tell you, because Stevie Wonder can see this shit right now.
I feel like there's a lot of people that's just not going to see it till we see them on the field and they just hooping. You just see Trey Amos with some lockdown coverage in practices. You see Josh not letting nothing go by him and stuff like that. So I think once they see them, some people will come around. To your point, Rio, I don't see how they can doubt anything this team does after going from 4 wins to 14. Because I feel like any mock draft we put together, maybe we don't win 14 wins last season. So we need to trust they know what they're doing more than we do.
Facts. I mean, shit. I can't wait to see. This is how bad it's gotten now. I can't wait to these rookie minis. Like,
oh yeah, I know.
I'm like,
shout out to Gabe.
Yeah, shout out, man. Shout out. How did we started out the show by saying shout out to Gabe. We end the show by saying shout out to Gabe, man.
2 times for the 1 time, you know.
2 times.
And Wolves in 5.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Chill.
Rio was talking that nonsense after the Lakers won the first game. That the Wolves ain't winning another game. The Lakers might not win another goddamn game.
That fourth quarter was so stupid yesterday, man.
Redick did not make a substitution. I think that's the first time ever that nobody was in the whole half, like ever. And Braun put up 0 points in the fourth quarter. That's unacceptable.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
It was a bad fourth quarter.
But he was tired, though. To your point, the JJ Redick thing about all 5 players never coming out in the half is crazy.
And it was the first time the first time they did a review up top, like the angle. I don't know if y'all saw, but it was the first time they've ever done that to like.
The Anthony Edwards angle when LeBron stripped him. Yeah, man.
I appreciate that. Shouts out to the angle, man. Yeah. Yes, sir.
That and then that crazy dunk tip was the first time I saw that angle for
you can't debut an angle on LeBron, bro. I didn't like that. Bro. You can't be debuting angles on a LeBron call, bro. I ain't like that.
Clearly a slap on the wrist there.
Yeah, it was, man. But that's Braun.
Got to.
Hey, shout out to every team coming out of draft weekend feeling like you won the draft. My team is at a point of its development where we ain't trying to win drafts no more. We're trying to win Super Bowls, man. That's how I'm feeling after draft weekend.
Say that again for the people in the back, Rio.
We're not trying to win drafts over here no more. Chicago, New York, with your "we won the draft" grades. Look at us.
Patriots.
We're not trying to win in April anymore. You know, we're trying to win in February. And so I got a little taste of what the success feels like. Y'all can continue to win drafts. My team is competing for Lombardi, and my quarterback better than yours. Talk to us nice, man.
Oh, man. The evolution is a beautiful thing, bro. Oh, man, it's a beautiful thing. I love it, man.
Just like from the gorilla.
I love it.
We're all right. Team now. We got commercials, Marriott commercials, Madden commercials.
Talk about it, Ed. I mean, we everywhere, bro. We everywhere. We ubiquitous out here, man, in these streets. We about to have about 6 primetime games in a couple of weeks, bro.
Minimum.
Ubiquitous is a 14-win word right there, bro.
That's what it is, man. You know what it is. When you start getting JD5s on your squad, man, you start opening up the vocab, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, get y'all ESPN. Y'all better brush up on your ESPN Deportes and get you a JD Cinco shirt. We going to Madrid, baby.
JD Cinco.
We going to Madrid, baby. JD Cinco. Shout out Miami. We'll see y'all in Madrid. Go ahead and lose that home.
Stop it, man. Stop it. I'm done, man. Y'all got anything? I'm done, man. I'm done with y'all.
Done for the night, man.
JD Cinco. I cannot. I'm done, man. Hey, y'all know what it is, man. We appreciate all of y'all out there for kicking it with us for 3 hours. Still 880 of y'all out there kicking with us after the 3 hour mark, man. Y'all are legendary. We really, truly do appreciate y'all. Y'all know what it is, man. For all the Kings, man, for Ed, Rico, Rio, and myself, y'all know what it is. If you come at these Kings, you best not miss. Until next time, man, y'all know what it is. Take care. Kings out.
International 5. Viva Los Commanders, all that stuff. And shout out to Gabe on the way out.
Shout out to Gabe. JD Cinco.
If you come at these Kings, you best not miss.